Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to Monday Night Toy Rambles, where I will ramble on for the next 3 weeks about, next 3 hours about my last 3 weeks. So, this show is heavily going to be about me and my time in the past 3 weeks, whether it be my vacation, Joe Fest, and maybe a little bit of news. So, if you don't like seeing pictures with me in them, and you don't like me, what the fuck are you here for if you don't like me? In all honesty, dude, like seriously, like what are you doing? Like, why are you here? Or are you just hate watching? If you hate watching, then hit a like. I mean, I don't care. I don't understand why anyone hate watches. But anyway, I think it's great to be back. We'll see how this goes. Can I still sit here for 3 hours rambling on about absolutely nothing as I've done for the past 4+ years? Well, I think I can still do it. I mean, I did do it at Joe Fest. I did it walking around Disney and Universal. I think I just have the capacity to do it. Anyway, I hope everyone's had a wonderful 3 weeks. I know so many people have covered Joe Fest. Well, I figured, you know what? Like all my reviews these days, I will come in late and do it and talk about it. And if you don't really want to watch it, then you don't have to, and you can move on and go watch Yojo Jerk and Gaines and all those other guys, or you can sit around here and hate watch or like watch. I don't know what it is. Anyway, how was everyone's weekend? Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time on Monday. I hope this week is turning out well. It's one of those things where I usually come in and say, let's talk about what I did over the past week, but I have 3 weeks to go over. And I'm not sure if you guys are all ready for that yet. And I swear I am missing some pictures because I know that I took pictures of some people that I can't find. One being Talking Joe, one being Mikey Kukovic. I don't have pictures of them somehow, and I've gone back through the pictures, and I wonder if I just accidentally deleted some here or there. But the slideshow for the Joe Fest, it won't be in a regular slideshow. It'll be on another screen as I scroll through them because it is that large. Just scrolling through, but there's a story to a lot of them. And again, we had a blast. I will reiterate it again. If you don't go to Joe Vest, that's on you. It's your choice. It is a great time. And if you don't have a good time, that's on you. I can't help anyone. I'm not there to be your tour guide. I'll just say that. I'm there to greet people, talk to people, get to know people. But if you think I need to make your if you think that I need to make your Joe Fest complete, that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to enjoy myself. So, and I hope everyone that goes, and hopefully everyone that goes in the future, they understand that, because I will continue to just talk it up. I will continue to talk it up because it's seriously the best G.I. Joe convention going. It is the best toy convention going, in my personal opinion, and I've had a blast with it. But anyway, hope everyone had a wonderful 3 weeks away from me. I needed this. Can I just say that? I had a wonderful vacation going from Joe Fest to Orlando. By Saturday in Orlando, my feet had swollen up. We were at the Magic Kingdom. It was the 4th of July. We did Epic, which was amazing. Honest to God. Epic was amazing. If you have a chance to go and check out Epic, Universal, you will enjoy it, especially if you like How to Train Your Dragon and Nintendo. Now, how it's going to be going forward, I don't know, and I'll talk about it more. But they really, like, you walk into those worlds. And Burke, if you don't know How to Train Your Dragon, that is their world. Burke is amazing. But anyway, I needed a time off. I didn't realize how much I needed this time away from doing all of this. Doing reviews is one thing. And obviously you've seen me be pumping out review after review after review. But doing the 3 lives a week, not to mention once a month doing Punk's Pit, doing the other show, the other channel that I do, the TV terminal, all the reviews that I'm doing. It takes a massive, massive toll on me, more than I realize, along with everything else that is going on. So it's just one of those things. Again, 3 weeks off. I could have gone another week and enjoyed it, to be honest. But we got to get back in the swing of things, or else we never will. So let's just say hi to the chat. There's 48 people watching right now. So please, if you haven't yet, hit that like button. I'm going to scroll all the way back up to the top. And we're going to say, Same Time Toys is here saying, so how much did the last 3 weeks cost you? I'm going to be honest. I did not spend nearly as much money as I thought I was going to. Not at Universal and Disney, not at Joe Fest. I was able to easily get everything back into the car and drive home. I would not have if I was driving people back. Cage's Custom is here. We have G.I. Bro, who we spent some time with and has the best guns in the community, and he tried showing that off. He tried showing off so much that some dude stared him down, wanting to arm wrestle. With that said, that guy wanted to arm wrestle anyone and everyone that had any type of muscular structure. Beardy McBeardison is here. We have Alex Martinez. We have Cookster here. David R. We have Blue Barnell saying, hi, everyone. Monday night wasn't the same without you the last few weeks. I'm not saying I like to hear that, but this head, well, it's missed those compliments. Action Figs. Ed here saying, well, look who's finally come back. Finally, I know. Finally, I was on Circle of Jerks last Tuesday, although I didn't have to do anything but just sit there and look pretty. We have Mike Gold here. We have Lady Spartan, who is a wonderful, wonderful person. I can't say, I don't know about her boyfriend. I mean, and the guy, he tries looking like the Punisher. He tries being like an action figure and then says that he doesn't. But I showed the picture and he looked just like him. I mean, it may have been the Punisher's head over him, but SCS Dog, who is a wonderful guy. It's kind of weird because you finally get to put a face with the name, and SCS Dog is awesome. Had so much fun, and he got the assignment, man. He just showed up, didn't really know anyone, and he just fit in, man. He didn't try and fit in. He just fit in, and we had a blast with him. And I will be asking you to come on Thursday with a friend if you want to show yourself on camera soon. We have Snake here. Hello, all. Been missing Monday Night Ramblings. Punk, I hope you had a great vacation. Yes, I did. Devil Dog is here saying, what's up, Punk, in chat? How we're doing? We're doing great. Again, I needed it. U.S. Combat Dojo. Now, I mentioned this on Circle of Jerks. This guy here, U.S. Combat Dojo. That is the name of his karate school. And if there's one way that we can get Matthew Matson, my other moderator, Mamu Nestor, is we want to make an all Augusta tournament. By that, I mean just Matthew in U.S. Combat Dojo fighting. But this may be the only way we can get Matthew there. Is maybe if U.S. Combat Dojo goes and I'll have to send him to Dallas and he can, like, I don't know, start a fight with him. But we got to get him to the All Augusta tournament. Fuck Club Tarkin. We need All Augusta tournament. We have Uncle Clutch saying, friends, nerds, countrymen, send me your dollars. Well, if you do the customs like that, people will. Mamu Nestor here with his customary, I know I have it still here. Nerd! Plastic Fantastic, who I owe a big apology to because he told me that Fext Hobby or whatever that thing was, the Joe Fest exclusive, it's gonna have pieces. And I said, listen, dude, I go, you're fucking drunk. All right, you and the other Michael, you're drunks. All right, you guys are drunk. Let me ask the sober guy, Derek, over here. I asked Derek. Derek said, dude, there's pieces you don't know what they are. And sure enough, they were right. there were pieces in there, but I finally got to find out what they were. One goes to a stand that the stand didn't come with it. It goes to the other thing. The other thing is an actual uh, a lever to control it. That thing needed instructions. Joe ARH, who is very, very disappointing that he did not find a way to make it down, but I will be on his show this Sunday talking about skateboarding. He has skateboarding versus BMX. I'm not really sure what the format is, but we'll be talking skateboarding, and I have a lot to say about that. Debo DNA. This was the straight edge guy who I had to ask, and he was absolutely correct. That thing had pieces that we had no idea what the fuck they went to. 610 Yo Daddy, who is fucking all of 6'10", and you will see the picture. I was saying, what's up, Punk? What's up, chat? Y'all smash that like button and subscribe. Yes, please do. We have Derek Holloman. We have Steven in here. We have Hi, it's me saying, Joe RH. Was it the one where they bit the nails? I don't know. I should not have done that. Gun Bunny Customs, dude, you need to make it out to Joe Fest. Especially with all your customs, man. Maybe you can ask Ace to put it in. You can do a Ramen Toys custom, and then you can drop it in Ace's little booth there, so everyone can see it. Yeah, see, I know I took pictures with Mikey, man. I know that I did. So, yeah, I went back and I looked. Tony's fake saying, "Do you complete my Joe Fest, sweetheart?" Thank you very much. Thank you. That makes me feel wonderful inside. I get a little warm inside. Brandon R has joined us. Nolan, which now makes this Toy Tube official, saying hi, Punk and chat. Woo. Okay. Krusty O Crow. No one had a tougher time getting to Joe Fest, and probably no one paid more to get to Joe Fest. So I was really happy to get to see Crow again. I talked to him probably as much as I talked to Tony, maybe even more. So the trials and tribulations that it took for him to get there, I don't think most of us would have spent that much money to get there due to the circumstances that came up. So glad to see that you actually were able to get there, Crow. And this year we actually got to really talk. I mean, how we were there when Daredevil Dave died, but we really didn't know each other at the time. And now I can say we know each other pretty well. M. Hatfield, who introduced himself twice and repeated and said, "Yeah, I'm Hatfield." I'm like, "I know, we met yesterday, dude." I don't think he thought I was going to remember. I did. I can't say I remember everyone, but I remembered you. So next year I can't. Listen, next year I can't say, but you're in the book. Just remember, you're in the book, so you have to sign it next year. Evil Dookie, who I got to meet, Punk in chat, and no, the police car is not Ohio State, which is good because really, really I would have been really sad. Kiwi GI Customs is here. All right. We have a Tom 102 saying hello from Poland. I don't believe that I've ever seen you before. So you know what you're going to get? You're going to get the...
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You got to understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
We got Todd C. We got Steve Chom. We have Men Who's... And I got to say, people, and I mean it, and Shane, this is directly at you. I am sick and tired of having to correct people on their own streams when they can't pronounce this guy's name properly. It is Mendoza. Okay, you can say Mendoza. There is no J. It is not Mendoza. It is Mendoza. All right. Same with Clinton Jorgensen. I had to correct this guy 3 times once again. He better be here. I had to correct him 3 times to get his own name right. That's just embarrassing for him that he doesn't know his own name. Viper Scout has joined us. I hope you one day get to make it out to Joe Fest because I think you'd be a blast to hang out with. Paul Morales is joining us also. Let's see here. Is there anyone else? We have Lost Ranger saying welcome back. Thank you. We have NJ Eddie says, good to see you back live streaming, Lawrence. I was having punk with toys withdrawals. I'm back. For how long? Well, I don't think I'm going anywhere for a while. And Crow says, mission accomplished, worth the pain to hang out with you guys. I'm glad that you feel that way because honestly, I would have been very disappointed had you not been able to make it. Not in you, but the circumstances. And it would have sucked because you were one of the true people that I wanted to definitely reconnect with. And let's just say when you first got there, oh man, when you first got there, you put a smile on her face because of what happened. And I'm just leave it at that because what happens at Joe Fest stays at Joe Fest unless if I talk about it. SCS dog, a member for 8 months, and you're gonna get the
Fucking Phil Collins.
which he's not in good shape. Um, and Kiwi GI Customs, a member for 6 months also. So you're gonna get the
Fucking Phil Collins.
all right. We're almost to the end here. Almost to the end. Well, it was funny on Saturday because you reread it and you were like, "What? Oh." Russell and you saying, nah, I used to do an illegal fish run to Marquette from Black River Fall. So many cops, Hurley PD Iron, company sheriff, state patrol, and like 6 other law enforcement. It's beautiful. He must be talking to somebody, but it didn't seem like that to begin with. So I started talking. What is this? Men who's just saying, don't listen to that crazy men Joza, but say it with your most outrageous accent, if you please. Yes, it's a men Mendoza. I said it properly. And then what is this? Allison Troy, member for 38 fucking months. So not only does she get a 38 fucking months, she also gets a
Fucking Phil Collins.
that is 38 months. That is crazy. Cobweb jumping in here and a member for 27 months. Wow.
Fucking Phil Collins.
Someone is getting old here, and that someone is me. Anyway, okay. What else was there? Okay, so I got back Monday night at midnight. I drove 18 straight hours. My ex, my daughter, and her sister-in-law, they all got up at about 4:45 maybe, and I couldn't pack the car because I had to make sure the Uber got there. So Uber got there, I packed up the car, I walked through the Airbnb and made sure I had everything. Jumped in the car. I was not sure at this point if I was going to stay the night somewhere or not. Now, I'll let you know, I drove into Joe Fest. I left at 3:50 in the morning. I did not go to bed until 4 a.m. the next day. So I was up for 24 hours. I don't stay up for over 24 hours when I do the punkathon. I take it like a 4-hour nap, 4-hour break. I would say, how did I manage to stay up that late? But let's just say you get there and you see all the people, and then you're just slap happy. And Tony had gotten in, Ed was there, and let's just say the shit that we talk about back in the hotel will never be repeated here. But and yes, Uncle Clutch, we are not together, and I can wholeheartedly say that. Again, if I was, why wouldn't I just say, "Oh yeah, we've been back to we are not together. We don't sleep together. We don't see each other naked. We don't touch each other. We've just raised kids together, and we actually have a platonic relationship." I know that is hard for some people to believe, but it is true. It's true. It's damn true. So I drive back. I drive 18 hours. Spoke to numerous people. Try and keep yourself awake. I actually really didn't get that tired, to be honest. Around Kentucky, check engine light. Well, I take that back. Not check engine light. Around Kentucky's service full-wheel drive light comes on. And like brake lights come on. And then with that came the traction control. Now, it doesn't matter. It's not raining out. It's not snow out. I don't need the all-wheel drive. Well, it turns out a wheel sensor went that I'm getting fixed now, $650 later. I guess it wouldn't be a trip unless if I come back and something goes wrong with the car, right? But it didn't affect the driving. It's in the shop now, $650 later. Hey, you know what? Just add it to the bill. So I guess, Shane, I take that back. It did cost me a little bit more on my vacation than what it should have because I didn't expect a repair bill. Around 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., my son calls me. Tells me that my neighbor is in the hospital and she'll be there at least till tomorrow. She ended up not coming home until Thursday morning. Thursday sometime, not even the morning. Thursday sometime. The problem is that for once, she actually locked her back door so her dogs couldn't go out. He can't get into her house. And whatever code that she makes for the door isn't working. So when I get home at 12, which I'd planned on just kind of coming in, bringing in my suitcase because it has all my clothes, I end up bringing in everything. Now I have to help him break into my neighbor's house at about 12:30 at night, which I'm glad the cops didn't come by because then you have to explain why you're going in through a window to your neighbor's house. I think it would be an easy explanation, but it doesn't change the fact that the last thing you want to do is look like you're breaking into someone's house right as you get back after an 18-hour drive. So that is how coming back in just literally starts. And then guess what? We went right into the association bullshit. I ignored it. I had 27 messages, and that was about after I read 20 of them in our group text, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I know the one night Ed was like, again? Like, dude, seriously. Like, yeah, I know. I know. Like, I fucking, it doesn't stop. Guess what? All the houses in our association, they're still here. None burned down. No cars went through any of them. No one was vandalized. No one died in the 2 weeks that I was gone. Mr. Wonderful saying, late, but I'm here. Happy to see you back, punk. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. So let's see here. Allison Troy says, yeah, you have to be very secretive if you're breaking into someone's house. The problem is we don't have, yeah, there are no back windows. It's just a big back door wall, which she always leaves the door open so the dogs can go in and out. This time she didn't. So, yes, you and I talked about it right when I first met you, right? We talked about it. And I spent 2 hours today. Talking with another member for other reasons too. But that's a whole other story. Steve Martin saying, good evenings, people. Man, I forgot to put the fucking picture in there. Steve Martin sends me a picture. If you're following him on Instagram, he has it up there. He sends me a couple pictures. Go check him out. And he's showing me the poses, and I go, and it's Killer Warg fighting, I think it was the Punisher or someone, I forget who it was. But I looked and I go, why is your dog in timeout in the back? And if you look, the dog literally looks like it has its nose in the corner in timeout. And I forgot to put the picture in because, well, a lot of things that I forgot. Steve Martin was as advertised. Let's just say that. Also, his wife's name is a very common name that people know when they say bye. Don't say that to her. She does not like it. And then his wonderful daughter, Natasha, who I remember because of Nadas Compass, the skateboarder. The only reason. Plus, she was in a picture with us. So I totally forgot what I was talking. Oh, yeah, the drive back. So I get back, do all that. I get started in the reviews. I think I did 16 or 17 reviews. I still have a bunch of stuff that I'm going to kind of quickly talk about. There's still some more stuff downstairs to definitely get into because there's a lot of shit that I still haven't been able to touch, and well, I have things I have to do, so I can't get to them. But anyway, quickly, some of the things that I did get, and I want to talk about some of them. First off, I talked about Talking Joe, and ooh, what did I drop? Hold on. So he gave me this, and he's like, "Hey, dude." He saw me. I remember taking a picture with him because of this, and he's like, "Hey, if you open it live, I'll give you one." I think he was gonna give me one anyway. But it is a G.I. Joe comic from the new line. And he's like, I don't know if you have it or not. It might be a new one, might be an old one, might be a variant, but he's giving it to everyone that I think all the content creators that he watches and everything. I'm like, well, I don't have any. So this could be that I don't know. You guys will have to tell me what it is. I mean, if it's worth, I don't think it's worth anything, but if it's one of those like special ones. So it is number 1 of A Real American Hero. And then look, it has a little Talking Joe card. And on the back, we get the Marvel Comics parody Talking Joe. So cool little sticker right there. So really cool. Oh, what else we got here? We got more stickers. Oh no, the bookmark. So a lot of different things. A lot of people that pass things out, but I definitely want to open this. So this is Silent Missions. So maybe this will get me into it because I know some people have been hounding me about not reading the comics. So thank you so much, Joe. Let's see here who just showed up. We saw G.I. Jetman saying, "Hey, Punk," in chat. I want to say something. Jetman, Crow may have had the most expensive traveling to Joe Fest. Then he probably had one of the worst. He had to leave Canada, so I guess that makes it better right there once he got out of Canada. Jetman, he had to take a bus, and it's like a 24-hour ride. And let me just say, Jetman is a large man, and what I mean by that is he fucking rolls up. And yeah, I'm gonna fucking say roll up. Olivia kept laughing about it. I'm like, he fucking rolled up. What do you want me to say? He's in a fucking electric wheelchair. He fucking rolled up. And I look at him, I go, damn, you're tall. You could just see physically how tall he was. I'm like, how tall are you? He's like, I'm 6'4". Super tall guy. He instantly gives us, it's Ed and myself, we're sitting there, and he gives us these paintings. Okay. And we talked about this in Circle of Jerks. So if you watch Circle of Jerks, you may know the whole story. So he gives this to me. You know what? You can see it. It's a Punk with toys, blue, silver. And he gives Ed one. Now, I don't know if he told Ed or not, but he gave these to a lot of guys. He gave him Tony's Figs. He gave it to, I think, 3-Star Draw. He gave it to Pop Blender, Baldy Locks for Circle of Jerks. And we were talking about it, and it was actually Pop that brought it up. He goes, I don't know if he did this on purpose, but did he do the colors of the football teams? And we started thinking about it because he did Pops in black and what is it? Whatever the Steeler colors are, yellow and black, I think. And then he did Tony's. We noticed was in the cowboy colors. He did Ed in Buffalo Bills colors. He did mine in Lions colors. He did Baldy Locks in Eagles colors. And it's seriously one of the most thoughtful things that someone has done, not just for me, but for everyone. And to take the time out and do that. And I just want to personally say, honestly, God, thank you. It is one of the coolest things that I got. And I think you know that. Like, seriously, like, Olivia makes me fucking birthday cards and Father's Day cards. And it is more special than anything that they could buy me. So that means an awful lot. And I know it meant a lot to Baldy and Ed and everyone. So honestly, Jetman, thank you so much. I wouldn't want to be anywhere on a bus for 24 or 24 hours, which you were both ways too. So I'm glad you were able to make it. I wanted to show that off and talk about that. We have 80s Joe jumping in as a hey punk in chat. Good to have you back. It is great to be back. I told you there's gonna be a lot of talking about me. Me. Lost Rangers. I love that cover. Yeah, I haven't even got to look at it. I listen. I enjoy all of this stuff. Let's see here. We got Cypher 6-3 jumping in here saying evening all. Okay. Yojo Daddy got one. So again, all these people that he watches, it's very personal and it means a lot because it shows, hey, you know what? You took the time, you enjoy, and you're showing our appreciation. And I can only tell you guys so many times how much I appreciate it. This whole show, this whole channel, is nothing without you guys. It's just me rambling on about bullshit. And we have seen people that have been doing live streams for longer than I have that talk to 12 to 15 people. And it's not that they don't work as hard as me. It's not that they don't put as much work into it, but there is something that I know and I'm self-aware, something that people obviously enjoy that I can give you guys. And believe me, I enjoy it. So, but that was one thing that I got. Well, that's actually two things. Ed, my moderator. I just want to say this. You've probably seen this on Instagram. People were giving out stickers. He decided to make a comic book of the photography that he was doing. And then he put it into like an AI format. I know that AI thing that I hate. And made a comic book for everyone, which now I expect one every single year. And I have a feeling he probably already assumes like I need to make one every year. But this thing is super cool. Another thing that he put a lot of work into, I think he only made 100 of them. So if you were able to get one, good for you. And if you weren't, should have been at Joe Fest. I don't know what else to tell you. I can only tell you guys so many times you should have gone to Joe Fest because it's really where everything is. Let's see, what else did we get? GI Jokes. They gave me one of these. What was really cool about this, they have the skateboards there, and they're doing like Mike McGill and Steve Caballero. And they're from California, so they specifically know them. They did a signing at their pizza place and everything. So this is really cool. So I want to say thank you to those guys. I did get the glow-in-the-dark Centurion. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this or not. It does glow in the dark. And if anyone is wondering, I don't know if they're still available. That is a Tom Cruise head. So if you need a Tom Cruise head still, and they're still available, well, you can still get one. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. If not, you want on eBay, and you're gonna be paying an arm and a leg for it. And look at this guy here, Ronnie Trickshot, saying, "Good day, short stuff. Good day, chat." Are you guys going next year for the 10-year anniversary? I hope to see you there. The guy you fly with, I'm not so sure. I'm still on the fence about that guy. And Jetman here is saying, yeah, the comic book was great. Except that's not him. That's right there. I got one of these, which I still got. I'll be doing a review on it sometime this week. This is the Atlas that Big Bad Workshop is doing. It's not just a complete Blake Buck. He does have eyes. So I think he's supposed to be like kind of an android that he has a blank buck, so you can use them that way, or you can actually go ahead and paint him and customize them if you want to. Confirm Marriott book for Adam and Ronnie last night. All right, well, then we will see you then. So there we go with that. That was one of the things. I finally picked up. I've quickly gone through it. The Marauder Task Force NAM, and this thing here, this is supposed to be kind of like that little the case that we got in the 80s, and they basically give you a Snake Eyes, that's Stalker, and then we get Storm Shadow. Now, obviously, their heads are in here. It is a nice piece of all kinds of weapons and stuff like that. So I haven't got around to actually opening it and getting to it. Another one of those things. This was a Joe Fest exclusive, but I walked by it enough and I'm like, you know what? That's something that I definitely need to pick up. It's really cool. And here's the other thing. It has a patch, guys. I know you all love patches from the Rattler. All right. Let's see here. We have Tony here, member for 33 months. So you're going to get the
Fucking Phil Collins.
the dates. I don't know if the dates are out, but you can find out. It is the 25th through the 28th, I believe. If you just go look, you'll be able to figure out because it's that Friday through Sunday. Cookster says, seeing Joe Fest videos from you and the other dudes reminds me of the time when toy conventions on this side of the planet were primarily about the toys. There was a lot of toys, but I'll tell you what, this show, it's not about the toys. And I'll talk about it a little bit more. I didn't look at any vintage stuff other than I picked up some of the a couple of figures from the Real Action Force Red Shadows. So I picked up a couple of those things. But I didn't look at any vintage. I didn't even look. I didn't take pictures of the booths that much. I took the videos quickly because I was too busy. Like, do I want to sit here and look at something that I can look at BBTS later on or on Toy News Eye or hang out with people that I get to see once a year? My choice is always going to be to hang out with people that I don't get to see all the time. And there's so many people that I didn't get to really talk to that I passed by. Obviously people that didn't get pictures with, and so many people that I did get pictures with. So, all right. I haven't got around to the 4-inch. Which one is this? The Assault Trooper from Skeletron. I can tell you the 6-inch figure is probably the best fucking 6-inch figure made, at least this year. The Skeletron figures are so good. And I know people are like, I don't know if I should get, dude, I don't care if it's $40 or not, you should fucking get it. It is that damn good. And then I got this. Now, someone came up to me and they introduced themselves to me and they're like, he shows me a picture and he's like, hey, would you like one of these? I'm like, well, how much is it? He's like, no, I want it. I want you to have it. So I haven't had a chance to review it. This comes from Black Hawk Studios. This is a 3D printed figure. I've taken it out. I've kind of messed with it. You got to be careful because it's painted and everything. And yes, the pad is in there. This thing is really cool. And I will say this, I won't be playing with it, but this will be prominently displayed within battle scenes in my collection because this thing is really cool. It's all 3D printed. It is a vac metal head. So thank you so much. Like this type of stuff. And again, there were jokes about Tony and me and, things that we got, and it's like, I can't help it that if somebody, they want me to wear something. Fury Force, right? Thank you to the Big Bad Workshop guys. Great guys, right? I'm going to support them. So a lot of cool stuff. And again, just going there, you're going to have a blast meeting people, getting to talk to everyone. And we're, again, the last part of the show is all about Joe Fest. So you can either take off then or maybe come back and see all the pictures. Lightfoot is here saying, hey man, great running into you at Joe Fest. It was great to see you too. Again, so many people. Like, dude, so many, and you do start to forget the names and all the people. I'm telling you, I'm missing pictures, which is absolutely crazy because anyone that's met me knows that I am kind of like, get the phone out, let's take a picture really quick because it's the thing that I want to remember like right away. So it goes into the book. I know I didn't take a picture of was Rob GI Customs with a Z. Got a picture of his stepson, and Rob is huge, and I totally forgot to get a picture with him. So, but anyway, Thursday, Thursday with a friend returns, and I'm having Carlos from Rise of Nexus. Now, Rise of Nexus, he sent me something a while back um, during his first Kickstarter, which unfortunately did not, wasn't successful. This time, the Kickstarter is successful. He was at 100 and I think he's at 160% at the time. So I'm going to have him on. Really nice guy. We're obviously talking about his life, but we're also going to be talking about his Kickstarter, hoping that he can hit every single tier. It is an O-ring line. It is very interesting. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have him on there. Again, super nice guy. I met him at Joe Fest in 25. I also talked to him a little bit at Assembly Required, which I am going to try and go to again this year. We have to see where the funds are at. But as you might imagine, I did just mention I had a $650 car bill. And I called about it today to get it. And they're like, the guy was like, I'm like, I was just wondering my car's done. Now I'm driving my work vehicle. So I drive my work vehicle all week. So it's not like that big of a deal. And he's like, they sent us the wrong part. So I'm trying to get the right part so I can put the right part on the car. And I'm like, yes, please fucking put the right part on the car. I'm okay with not having it back today. I would like to, but I'm okay with having the right part on it. Lone Dragon has jumped in here. How are you doing? We met him. I even got a picture of him. And I might even tell a little story about him and what he said to me when we met. But anyway, I want to say thank you to everyone that gave me stickers or any other type of product. It means an awful lot to me. Again, it's one of those things where people want you to have something in their collection. Like I talk about with the crates, I like seeing that stuff in the background. It's really cool to see. The other thing that I gotta say, if anyone is interested, I do have some of the Punk with Toys crates left, and I have a whole bunch of Hello Dope Toys crates. So if you guys are interested, shoot me an email, punkwithtoys@gmail.com. I'll answer it eventually. I'll even answer it eventually, or you can hit me up on Instagram. If I see it, I will respond and I'll let you know what I have and exactly how much they are. So, but yeah, a lot of fun. But now we got to get into the first part of the show. And again, you guys are wondering where I'm at, and I want to talk about my adventures. And again, this is about me. My ego, my head is that fucking big. Everyone saw it. G.I. Jetman saying, I'm sorry, I've got to go. I'm having a lot of pain today. It's not comfortable right now. Have a great show. Hey, you know what? Get some rest. Watch the replay. Great to have you. And once again, Jetman, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything, man. Like, I really do appreciate it. And I enjoyed getting to meet you and talking to you. And I'm glad you and so many others really did get a chance to meet Lenny, Corey, talk to him, ask questions. We talked about the Sergeant Slaughter 2 hours. We had more than that time with Lenny, and it was just like one of the gang. There we go. A 3-star draw jumping in here. How's it going? All right. So I'm going to take a quick breather. And what do you guys want to hear from? What have we not heard from in a while? Let's see. I'm trying to find a good one here. One that I know Tony will really, 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 really enjoy. Here we go.
Welcome back to Late Night with Mothman. Oh man, we've had such a crazy ride so far with all the amazing guests and shows that we've watched throughout this 36-hour stream. And I want to make sure y'all know we got to keep donating. We got to keep getting them numbers up. Skeletor, what are you doing here? Skeletor has come for the circle jerk. Ooh. Come again? That's the plan. Skeletor, I think you're confused. There's no this is a Late Night with Mothman, so I don't know what you're referring to. Man, Tony's Figs told me I could meet 4 bald men here for a circle jerk. And Skeletor will not leave until he's satisfied. Skeletor, I think you might be confused with the show that's called Circle of Jerks, and they're not on right now. Then they like do a show like every week or every other week or something. I don't watch it. Fool! I promise you, Skeletor is not confused. Skeletor, I'm trying to tell you there's no circle jerk going on here right now.
I got this. Skeletons. What you're looking for is it's back here in the back, which is
yes.
Skeletor will be satisfied.
I don't even know what's happening anymore, guys. So maybe we just kick it back to the 36-hour live stream, and y'all just keep donating money for Toys for Tots. Yeah, Late Night with Mothman, I guess.
All right, so I said this is about me. If you guys are following me on Instagram or on Facebook, I post pictures of my vacation and everything. So let's just start off here. And there's some reasons why, other than I just want to see how big my head can be. This was Disney World, obviously 4th of July. So it wasn't planned this way originally. It just ended up being that we were going to be in Disney for the 4th of July. And I said, you know what? Well, I take it back. It was planned that we were going to be on the 4th of July. It didn't dawn on me that it was the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. So we got to go and we got to see the happy 250th birthday. And let me just say, I don't think people really thought this was as cool as I did while I was trying to take video of the fireworks, either with Captain America or Duke holding up in my hand. But this picture ended up being, in my opinion, perfect. So all those people that hated 250th Duke, I found a great purpose for him. So anyway, Magic Kingdom. It rained. It was either super fucking hot, and we went in July 3 years ago, and I did not realize how hot it was. Or let's say it wasn't as hot. If there was clouds, it meant it rained. It meant it rained. And yeah. So it meant it rained, and if it wasn't, I mean, it was just beaming down on us. So Hi It's Me says, I loved the idea of people watching you hold up 250th Duke. Oh, I love the idea of people watching you. Yeah, like, listen, I have to hold it up because I'm so short, so there's all these people in front of me. So here's our happy 250th anniversary at Epcot. We literally went to Epcot so my ex and her sister-in-law could drink and eat. This picture, I just want to throw in there. You guys know Olivia. You guys have seen Olivia. And they're like, the cameraman was like, hug her. And just her face that she no longer wants to be hugged. And she's not a touchy-feely person to begin with. I absolutely love this. And I guess my ex was starting to break down in tears as she was going through putting in the calendar all the senior all the senior things that she's going to be doing. So, yeah, she's like super excited. This one just it makes me look like I have a big arm. I don't know why the guy told us to put our thumbs up. Had to throw this one in because it is Stitch. And as many of you know, she absolutely loves Stitch. This is the one where Stitch will spit water at you. I would have been perfectly fine at any moment. This was Monday after I left Augusta, Georgia, and went there. Now, mind you, when I left Augusta, she actually is not taller than me. It's the shoes that she is wearing. Believe me, we've had this discussion. She wants to be taller. She is not yet. I'm not saying she won't be, but she is not yet. The driving from Augusta to Orlando, and Shane, how come no one fucking told me? There's no expressway to get out of Augusta, get from Augusta into Jacksonville. It's just a highway, and sometimes you're going light after light after light after light after light. I do only wear the Fury Force shirt now. I used to only wear the Ronnie Trick Shot. Now it's only the Fury Force because it seriously fits me so fucking well. Ronnie Trick Shot. Seth Green ain't taller than you, so that's good. No, and she's much taller than Seth Green, but he was not there. But anyway, I drove in there. They had already been here because they flew in. They actually ended up taking an Uber to meet me at the Airbnb because I had to get there and unload everything. And then I wanted to go back, so I kind of drugged them back. They didn't have to. Olivia would have gone with me, but we had to go get some stuff. So this is our second trip back. I remember this from 3 years ago, the Frontera, whatever that is. It is a restaurant. We haven't eaten there. And she's just super excited to show off. And if you don't know why this is important, then I don't know what to tell you. We took a picture in front of it. That was the second picture because I didn't get her good side. She said it was too dark. I don't know why they have this dad one here, but they did. And I thought, hey, you know what? This might be the last time that she is. I don't know. She's a daddy's girl. You guys know that. So I understand. The Star Wars world is not what it should be. Oh, it's the kitchen. Okay. Thank you. I don't speak Spanish because I live in the USA. I understand the Star Wars land or whatever it is not what we all wish it was, which is Mos Eisley's. But seeing the full size Millennium Falcon is always going to be super cool. And yes, it was Tuesday, so I was wearing the Circle of Jerks shirt. Now, I had to take some pictures. So obviously I had to take Duke and Captain America. But listen, even though he's a Canadian, this guy feels like he needs to go everywhere. Now, during this, Olivia and her aunt were going to ride some rides. Or they were waiting in line for a ride. I forget which one. And it's hot. I mean, these figures are literally fucking melting. So I'm setting up pictures. You can see there's no shade. And here I am. I'm setting up the pictures. And people are walking by. And my ex is like sitting underneath this umbrella, just trying to get some shade. And I can hear her going, don't encourage him. Don't encourage, like, if people were like, dude, that is awesome. Then she tells me, oh, dude, those guys over there, they're taking pictures of you taking pictures. So as any good, self-respecting, YouTube toy collector would do. I took out stickers, ran over there, told him I have a YouTube channel, and gave him the stickers of Circle of Jerks and a Punk with Toys. But I really, really, really like these pictures. And this is all in Star Wars land. So if anyone ever says, dude, there was some guy taking pictures of action figures, you know who it was. We went to Ron John. So we went to the beach on Wednesday. We went there like 3 years ago. It didn't dawn on me. It's only an hour away, at least over an hour away from Orlando. So we had never gone there before till the last time that we went. Yes, they were new subscribers, hopefully. I came across a few of them, I think. But I thought, hey, you know what? I need to get a picture at Ron John here. And as you can see, there's probably never been another Punk with Toys shirt in Ron John. If there has, someone take a picture and send it to me. Dominic Johnson jumping in and saying, welcome back. You have been missed, and I had nothing to watch on Monday nights. It's a great thing you and your ex are on good terms. Really nice to see that. I will say this, it was not like that to begin with. But again, you have kids together. You make wonderful little people. And the whole thing is, you make these wonderful little people. You should be able to put your personal differences aside. Do I think you should go on vacation with all your exes? Probably not. All right. Lightfoot says we were down there about a month ago. I agree. There is no good way to go to Disney. There is no good way to go to Disney through Augusta. We only ever tried that once. Oh, it was awful. All right, Universal. You guys know I do everything I can to not use a stand. This was not the easiest thing to do because they were riding the Mummy ride, or they were waiting for it. So we went over here. It is so fucking hot. They're in a black bag. Unfortunately, I know Tony did everything he could for Roman here, but some of the paint rubbed off on Captain America, and some of it rubbed off on Deadpool here. I had to put him in his own little bag. So you can see this ground. Yes, they are running. There is no sticky tack. There is nothing. But I won't lie. I did have to use Roman to get Captain America to stand, because he was the one that definitely wanted to fall over. Those were some loose ankles. So I used the shield to kind of hold him up there. This one here was interesting. So I put the guys here, and then I get a huge photo bomb of this bird in the back. And this bird just wanted to be in this fucking picture so bad. So I can't say I've ever been photobombed by a bird before, but we definitely got one here. But I actually really liked this shot. You're starting to enjoy it. Doing things in the wild like this. I really like taking these types of pictures. So, and then I had to get Captain America with the Captain America. But then here's Captain America pointing out, dude, that's me. And yet my dumbass didn't once think to get myself wearing the Captain America shirt with Captain America in front of Captain America. But hey, you win some and you lose some. Yeah, where's a bald eagle when you exactly? Exactly. Where is that? Brandon says the drive between Orlando and Cocoa Beach we discovered this year has a fair chance there's a rocket being launched That was a cool. That would have been awesome. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes, and I drive all day. So I mean, an hour and 15 minutes, especially after you've driven as much as I had already driven, that's absolutely nothing. Um, so I had to get this one, hosted by Air Canada, all because of my good friend Krusty O'Crow and his issues, which I do believe was Air Canada in getting to Augusta, Georgia. So this is one of those things where I saw this and it made me laugh. So I had to take a picture with it. It fits out perfect. Matthew says, I took a picture of Howard the Duck at the exact location. No bird, though. So I took pictures 2 years or 3 years ago with Rock and Roll and I think Stalker in like that exact same. And how we ended up just happened to stop there, I don't remember. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. Unfortunately, I guess that bird, he'd probably been waiting for someone else to set up some fucking to set up some pictures. And Cookster says, remind me to bring some of my figures on my vacation. This is what I will say. Don't take too many. If you take too many, you'll get overwhelmed and you'll never do anything with them. If you take 2 or 3, then you will get them out, pose them, and you make them your little vacation buddies. So just that is my tip to you. Where I know when I've gone, to New York and stuff, I've had a whole bunch. You don't want to have too many if you're going to be doing something like this, because you want to be able to pull them out and be quick about them. But there's another story to that too. Let's see. Joe Erich says, exhibit. We heard you like Captain America, so we put your Captain America in front of another Captain America. Exactly. Shane says, last year, the guy that played Cap looked more like Steve Rogers. Okay. Wolverine jumping in here saying, looks like you had a great time in Central Florida. How did you like Epic? That was my favorite part. I'll be going in the fall and winter. Epic was special. And I'm going to talk about that when I get to it. Everyone needs to go there if you like it. So this was one of the most arrogant things that I've ever seen. And Captain America is here. He's talking to 250th Duke and he's talking to the Canadian. And he's like, I remember when I helped liberate this fucking country. I thought it was very rude. I also thought it was accurate. But the fact that he was sitting there telling them, I remember liberating this place. Not everyone needs to be reminded of that, Steve. Just so you know. All right. So we came out of one of these exhibits that we were in there for air conditioning. And Susan and Beth, they walked on to go do something else. I forget what they were doing. And I was like, I want to take pictures. I got the American Adventure. So I get Duke, I get Captain America. And I take this picture, right? I thought, perfect. There's your bald eagle, guys, right? And then someone comes up to me and goes, oh my God, this is so awesome. She's like, can I take a picture of like these? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I love that you're playing with your dolls. And then she's, no, in your case, they're action figures. And we start talking. And she has a bag of plushies. And it's this clear bag of plushies. And I can see probably about 6 or 7 plushies in there. And she has an Instagram called Tay's Plushies. I have shared it once or twice. Go follow her. And she's there with her friend. And she's like, yeah, I made this bus. And it was full of plushies. And she sets up all this stuff. We must have just missed her. She must have just cleaned it up. And if you go back and you see the picture, because I'm right in front of this fountain, She has all these plushies listening to the one guy, the one Muppet that's running for president, listening to his speech. She got pictures. There's a specific camera that does like a 360 where she has all the plushies. And her friend's like, she does this all the time. So she'll take these all over the place. Probably easier to set up than action figures because they start melting. But they're like, and her friend's like, she'll spend like an hour setting it up to take a couple pictures. And I thought it was absolutely awesome. So Tay's Plushies on Instagram. Go give her a follow. I had to yell at her because she's like, I take all these pictures, then I forget to upload them. Like, upload them while you're there. I'm like, these are so fucking cool. So go ahead and follow her, Tay's Plushies. I will share her stuff because it's just cool. Like, it was cool to see. I mean, she sees me, and I wish that we would have walked out 10 minutes earlier or whatever. Because had I seen that, I would have ran over there with Captain America and been like, dude, can I put these in here and take pictures with you? It would have been absolutely awesome. But the fact that her friend made this bus for her, and I go, what do people say when you come through like the gates? Because they're running security. And she's like, a lot of people just think it's a cooler. Other security guards will open it up and they're like, what is this? And she's like, well, I take pictures. And she's like, they'll fucking call them over. They're like, dude, come look at all this stuff, and like they're coming over and they're looking at all these plushies. It was cool. It was really cool. Punk has to go all the way to Florida to find a girlfriend. Well, I guess that is a little bit further than Georgia now, isn't it? But you already have a stepkid in yours. Anyway. Here is Captain America at I can't think of the name. I want to say Epcot. So we were told that now this is on the 3rd. We were told that the fireworks are better at Epcot than the Magic Kingdom. They are. And I really didn't believe that, especially for the 4th of July. They both did something a little bit extra. Obviously, at the Magic Kingdom, you get you get the castle in the background. But if you don't get there 2 fucking hours early, you don't get a good spot. And you see the fireworks, but you don't get to see the castle and all the changing of the colors. This is right around the whole lake. And it's awesome. So, Captain America, if you go and look at I think I have it on Facebook. I know I have it on Facebook. I think I have it on YouTube. You get to see the whole, not all, but like 30 seconds of Captain America standing in front of the fireworks. And I don't think people appreciate it that much. Billy Boy's Toy saying, hi, Pung. Hello, chat. Hope you're all enjoying your Monday evening. I know I am. I'm not sure if everyone else is enjoying my pictures of my vacation. But again, this show is about me. Clint Jorgensen has jumped in saying, what's up, chat? Cool. Dallas Cowboy stars in his bag. No. And then we have Skunk Works jumping in. How are you doing, Jeff? What happens in Joe Fest? Yeah, kind of. Now, I did think the shots of this behind were actually a little bit better. But the fireworks were amazing. And I'm not a fireworks guy. Then Epcot. First off, as much as it drives my ex nuts, she would be like, you need to get a shot of this. So as we're leaving, because the park is closed, she's like, you need to get a shot of this. Okay. So we stopped at the garbage can, put Captain America, and I thought it actually came out pretty good with the flash on. Here's Captain America on the Small World ride. He's letting you know, I'm on the Small World ride, guys. Olivia in front of Stitch. I will reiterate, and I will continue to say, she absolutely loves Stitch. She didn't even notice it, and I don't know what she's doing. This was after it rained. So this was an interesting encounter here. Now, quickly, Plastic Fantastic saying, "Did you get on? Did you get it on with the slow girl with the stuffing?" And no, I did not. No, I did not. But you do get the
Fucking Phil Collins.
I was with my daughter, you sick fucks. Um, um a lot of people said Cap should have come with a salute hand, but this Cap wasn't. Remember, this is the Game Reverse one. A matter of fact, the hand that you'll see him with, like the open hand, that goes to the new Daredevil figure. So if you have the new Daredevil figure, it works perfect with the Game Reverse Cap. Just so you guys know. Let's see. Jim Smith says, how nice people must have thought your ex brought her daughter and special brother with her to Disney." Maybe. All right. Oh man, did I have to remove the pictures? Oh shit. So here's Donkey Kong Country. So here's Epic, and I gotta say, Epic is awesome. Lone Dragon says, "Did they offer you a job at the Small World ride?" No, I'm short, not small. All I have to say about Epic, okay, is, and it may change. The way that it is built, it is a circle, and you go into the different worlds. One is the Super Nintendo world. Then you can go into the Epic Monsters world. Then there's another Harry Potter world, which we didn't fucking bring her wand because I took it out before we went to Disney, which is disappointing because the wand seems like it does way better things over here. And then you go into Burke. And when you go into Super Nintendo world, you feel like you are in Super Nintendo or any Nintendo game. In Burke, you feel like you have gone into Burke. How to Train Your Dragon, you feel like you're in Burke. This was Frankenstein's castle. If you saw the short that I did, I was trying to get the lightning, and the lightning is not part of this attraction. The skies got this dark, and I was like, I need to get this. But there was lightning hitting all in the back. It looked awesome. But if you go watch the short, you will see this castle light up, and that is lightning striking behind us. And you can hear my daughter go, "Yeah, I don't think that's part of the show, Dad." Something like that. But I did not get the lightning that I wanted to. This is the smallest of the worlds. It is really cool, though. So if you're into like Wolfman, Frankenstein, you will definitely enjoy this. There's no doubt about it. Heli Geek says, "Evening all looked like a fun vacation, Lauren." It was a lot of fun, man. It was so much fun. Exhausting, and I was ready to come back, but I've never had 2 weeks off other than when I was laid off. And Billy Boy's Toy says, "Your daughter is pretty punk. Thank you." I don't mean that in a creepy way. No, that's I understand. And I appreciate it. So this is Burke. So if you've never seen How to Train Your Dragon, you should. There's such good movies, and even the live action one is really good. You honestly feel like you're in Burke. It completely transforms. My feet hurt so bad by the end of these 2 days because you're walking on different cobblestone because they want it to be as authentic as possible. My feet were just dead. They hurt so fucking bad. But it was all worth it in the end. And then this is Astrid. She's fucking hot. And they stay in characters so well. I also put up a short of Olivia opening her dragon or hatching her dragon with the person. They have a whole little thing. And this was a really good show. So if you get a chance, now I must have run out of space. So where I was pointing out where I took these shots here. We were coming out of I'm gonna remove this. We were coming out of the a restaurant, and because we couldn't find a place to sit, and this guy goes like this. He goes, and I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, east of Detroit. So we went back in to find a table, and we did a mobile order. And I said, let's go see if that guy because the guy's taking pictures. He works for Disney. And Olivia's like, is that him over there? I'm like, I don't think it is. It was, because he had kind of moved. So we go over there, and I start talking to him. And, hey, you know what? Can we get our pictures? That's actually where you see the castle. And then he has us do this. And we take a picture. You probably see it there. And then he goes, where are you from? And I go, east side of Detroit. He's like, well, he goes, where at? And I go, he goes, I used to work in Mount Clemens. And I go, I'm from Mount Clemens. And I go, what'd you do? He goes, well, I used to run cable and stuff over at the ice arena. And I'm like, dude, that's like a mile from my house. Not even a mile from my house. We ran into a few people that worked there that either had ties back to Michigan. I didn't expect somebody to literally have a tie back. He said he hasn't worked there since like the 90s, but the fact that he literally worked right down the street from him, where there's probably a good chance that I passed by this guy numerous times in my life. It was out of all the cities that he was like, yeah, I used to work in Mount Clemens. And you're like, Mount Clemens isn't very large. It's literally encompassed inside of another city. You don't get that too often, especially when you're in Florida like that. So it was pretty cool. He, again, you've probably heard comedians and other people talk about like we are the only people that will point to where we're from on our hand, because no one else can, because we live in the mitten. And people that don't know geography, Michigan is shaped like a mitten. So people that live in a different country maybe don't realize that. I'm sure there's people in the US that also don't realize that. So anyway, that was it. That was my Disney trip. And we're going to get into Joe Fest. But before we do that, there is a little bit of toy news and some other stuff that I definitely want to discuss. Billy Boy's Toy says, that's crazy, Punk. I'm always surprised when I talk to another toy collector online. Yes. I don't know what to say that. Stu Verline saying, oh, Punk is on. Is this the replay or is it live? This is live. Unless if you're watching from the beginning, then technically that is a replay. Don't worry, I'm not going to. Steve Martin says, I had no idea what that gesture meant. I was thinking free hand jobs. No, it's not. So anyway, a little bit of news that we will get through. Masters of the Universe. I mean, I have very little. San Diego Comic-Con is coming, so I think we're going to get more and more. Ed says, I met a guy who lives in my town. Yeah, that's right. At the bar in Augusta at the hotel this year. I was wondering where you went for a couple hours at night, but now I know. Anyway, this guy dropped, and I didn't do any work. I pretty much only dropped this guy because he's really fucking big for a Masters of the Universe Origins figure. He is Mattel Creations. Someone tell me what the big giant ram with multiple arms is. I don't know his name. Joe Eric says this is Punk's proof of life lived. Hold up today's newspaper. Today is July 13th, 10:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, here we go. If you're interested, he is available on Mattel Creations. I believe I caught Thanos captors. He already has them, so they shipped them out really really quickly, I guess you could say. But yeah, uh, it's an interesting figure, and I don't remember this guy at all. I do think that is awesome what Mattel is doing, how they want to show stuff off that you never got to have before, and they can fit in with your Master of the Universe original line. So to the top of his horns, he is 8 inches tall. He's an army cow. I kind of like that. But yeah, he does come with the big ram. Oh, now I know why. Now I know why Thanos Copter got him. He's got a big ram dong on him. Devil Dog says, "Yo, speaking of Motu and Joe Fest, did anyone else catch the massive scale Castle Grayskull in the lobby at Joe Fest?" I don't remember. I mean, there's so much. It's got to be on the video, right? I think I did. I could have totally missed it. So there you go. This is a Taranton, the mighty Taranton. I don't know. You guys, hey, look, Highest Me actually has it. But if you want them, you can go get them. As part of the powers of Grayskull. And I did find it interesting that that this guy is like part of him. So or in the comic. So it's a sneak attack. So there you go. If you are interested, go pick that up. McFarlane has a few things. And his page punchers. And so we have Superman. I don't have. There might be more pictures online, but this I did yesterday, and I can't say in a rush, but I had other things that I had to do, like a 2 fucking hour association meeting. But this is really cool, and I know we talked about this. Yeah, I think it's Ninjor, but there's also a white. There's also a white one where he's all in white too. We talked about this on Circle of Jerks, and this is pretty cool. And this is concept art of Billy D. Williams as Two-Face. And I do believe that he was originally supposed to be Two-Face. I know he played Harvey Dent, but I thought there was a script where he was originally supposed to come back as Two-Face, and obviously they never got around to that because plans changed, things changed, But yeah, this looks really, really cool. It's just a very interesting character, something that I feel like Mattel will never do once they have the line. But if Mattel is smart, they're watching what McFarlane is doing and taking notes on what people enjoy and what they want to see. So this is one of those ones where I could see a lot of people picking it up. Because who knows if like a character like this will ever be done again. And yes, he will not scale with what we believe is going to be the next figures for Mattel. And then we get these, I believe these are re-releases. So we have Batman and Justice Batman or Dawn of Justice. So if you missed these or you're worried that Mattel's never going to make them for you, go ahead, get them. I think these were actually showed up in Walmart before before they even were solicited, which is par for the course when it comes to McFarlane and their stuff. So, big ears, Batman. That's it. All right, G.I. Joe. Told you there wasn't much to talk about. Matthew says, this is a great idea. Too bad it's McFarlane. Two-Face from the Burton verse. No, you're absolutely right. So, I mean, there are people that, let's be honest, they will keep their McFarlane toys, and a lot of their McFarlane, maybe it will go up. Who knows? Maybe it will go up in price, and people want to keep it. Um, I just don't think we're going to get that from Mattel, and I hope Mattel is taking notes, and they're like, all right, people like this stuff. We need to do stuff like this. All right, so the Arctic Bat is finally available for all you people that didn't get it. I mean, it's a Haya and it's just over 4 inches tall, but you can get an Arctic Bat. I think it is absolutely strange what Haya does. Now, I understand that something like this, the Assault Trooper from Skeletron, these are almost identical matches. They're 4-inch figures as their 6-inch figures, but they're the same company. It's weird that Hasbro pretty much said, here you guys go, do whatever you want, recreate the classified in your 4-inch scale, but don't sell it over here in the US. It's weird. But this is identical. I mean, they even recreated the awful sniper rifle. Hopefully that saw stays on better. But if you like 4-inch figures, this is going to be one that I think you have to pick up. Have they even done a regular bat? Has Haya even done the regular bat? Because I honestly don't remember. But if you need an Arctic Bat, there you go. You can get an Arctic Bat. I mean, it's not the one you want, but still, it is what it is. So it says 4.16 inches. I'm assuming he should be a little bit taller due to their base figures are 4.1, and the bats are taller than the other figures. So, all right. This is I think the SDCC exclusive. And here we have Donatello as Snake Eyes. I actually think Timber looks decent. I know there's a lot of people that are into this. Spec is all about these. I think my favorite thing about this is it makes me not want to buy something G.I. Joe. So it saves me money. So I'm glad that people get what they want. It looks like 610 Yojo Daddy. I guess he was interested in it. I like the Super Soaker Uzi. That is actually pretty cool. I do like the harness that Timber has. And I gotta say, this one actually looks pretty good. And as Spec's nephew found out, that when you flip up Snake Eyes' head, he has a messed up eye. So that was a callback that I guess people didn't realize that these figures came with until Spec's nephew flipped it up. Matthew says, didn't Spec say he wasn't getting these right up until they came out? Tony, I think Spec was the one that said he was for his nephews, because when his nephews come over, they have something to play. I think he was one of the ones that liked them. I could be wrong. I don't know why I'm asking Tony, because fucking Tony doesn't remember shit. But I can tell you I have no intention of buying them. Now, if I came across this one, but it's SDCC, I might be enticed because I do think it looks pretty good. But really, the only one that I think looks enticing to buy is the Cobra Commander Shredder. Yeah, but he was saying, didn't he say he didn't want them? And I can't remember if... I think Spec was the one that was actually on board for liking them. I know you and I were like, hey, good for people that want it. Good for my wallet because I don't want it. But anyway, this is the SDCC exclusive. So here you go, turtles. It looks like it should be glow in the dark, but I don't think it is. All right. So people are I'm part of a Super 7 GI Joe O-ring group. These people are super excited for Super 7 O-rings. And I'm sorry, like they're just not that good. Do I buy some of them? Yes. Do I want to shit all over people's happiness? No. And I will. I think that's probably the one I hate the most. But I also don't like Krang. Like the Krang creeps me out. So I do not like the Krang Destro. And I've heard a lot of people say that they like that the most. And I'm the exact opposite. So yeah. But Wild Bill and Tiger Force, people are super excited about this. I don't remember people have seen it yet as a Target exclusive. And I just kind of laugh like, all right. I mean, if it makes you happy, get it. So I saw in the group too. So these Ninja Force, the Cobra Commander, and Snake Eyes, they're showing up. According to the guy said that the targets are getting one case of these, and it's 2 figures per case, or 4 figures, 2 of each per case. So if this is something that you want, and this is one that I'm interested in seeing, I would like to see how they are. These are 2 that I might be interested in actually picking up and taking a look at. I mean, I've said before, like I will not do a Super 7 sight unseen because unfortunately, they show them off to make them look better. And I go back to the Crimson Twins pack. Very disappointing when I actually saw them painted and everything. So this here, again, I like the idea that, hey, they are following what the Ninja Force were, where they're on the Christmas tree here, or on the tree. I can always call it Christmas tree. On the tree, you have to break off the stuff. But again, how much better would these ninjas be with articulated wrists? I'll tell you, so much better. And the Cobra Commander, you wouldn't even be able to tell. So, it is looking more and more likely now that we've seen that Cobra, the Viper pilot or whatever it is. And now we're seeing the Trouble Bubbles. If you remember back when they were doing that Kickstarter of the mothership, they had Trouble Bubbles. So people are going to be like, what does a Trouble Bubble look like? Well, if you go find those pictures, you'll see the Trouble Bubbles. So the Python Patrol one is an SDCC exclusive. If you want a Python Patrol one, I will tell you this. What I remember about those pictures, these Trouble Bubbles do not look nearly as good as the original ones that we had in the 80s. And that's unfortunate. They should. BBTS is going to have the exclusives for these. Now, will I be willing to buy one of these? Possibly. I have to see it again, but I remember the original pictures, what they were showing, that the original ones from the 80s just looked 10 times better. And if you can go and buy one for almost the exact same price, why would you buy something that looks scaled down? Jay Solo Arts saying, I saw them today at my Target, I passed. And that's exactly it, Jay. Like I have to see them in hand because I think they look really good in the pictures. But how many times, Deadeye Cover Girl, have we picked it up and went, oh, yeah. So Matthew says, so Super 7 is making the Dr. Mindbender Trouble Bubble pack. You heard it here, folks. Matthew, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw this, I think it was yesterday, It was the fucking first thing that went through my mind. Is this a Dr. Mindbender Trouble Bubble Target exclusive? That guy can say whatever he wants and say that no, he never said that, but he's so full of shit. All right, we're gonna get into Joe Fest, but before that, there was some talk about Danny McBride, and the clips went around. It still amazes me in these G.I. Joe Facebook groups how many of these people still don't. Honestly, I swear, they still don't know how to Google and look things up if this is real. But Danny McBride, it was interesting because we've heard all this stuff about there was 2 different G.I. Joe movies that were being written or done. One was by Danny McBride, who does Gemstones. There's something in front of Gemstones, I forget. Righteous Gemstones, is that what it is? He's done some other stuff. He's a comedian. And in the interview, they asked him, I heard you're writing a G.I. Joe movie. And he said, I've written a G.I. Joe movie. And they specifically said they didn't want it to be a comedy. And he said, it's not a comedy. And he said he wanted to start with a Dreadnought movie. And they said, no, they want to reboot it. And I think, and I've said this before, I think that the best thing that Paramount really should do is start off with TV shows and do a Dreadnought TV show. Do a show about Stalker, Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes and how they become friends. Do something about, how G.I. Joe is becoming an extensive enterprises. You could do all these different shows that allow the character build and then move into a movie. They don't want to do that. They want the cheap, not the cheap grab, but they just want the whole big thing. I'll say it again. One of the reasons why the original Avengers worked was because when you got to the Avengers movie, you didn't have to explain Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. They already had their solo movies that explained who they were, how they fit into the universe, how powerful, how strong they were, all that other stuff. I hope Danny McBride can. He talked about it. He said that was his favorite thing growing up. He said something about it. His nephew, I think, that he goes, I want him to be into it, but it's like his niece or his daughter. Like she's the one who plays with it all the time. So I actually have a glimmer of hope for it. And it's by listening to him talk. Now hopefully, and I think Danny McBride he has created enough that has been successful. All right. You just go look up Danny McBride and you look at the stuff that he has been successful in creating. Hopefully, he is able to say, you are to keep the Bonaventure out of this. Because that guy doesn't know shit. He shouldn't be touching anything. And hopefully you're finally getting somebody who loves the property, but hopefully will adapt it into today. We don't need to have an 80s piece and try and recreate the 80s. It's not what is needed. And I think this is the guy that can probably do it. Let's say hi to Action Figure Sold Separately. It says, I'm reading his book right now. How are you doing, man? It was great seeing you again. We're going to get into these pictures really soon. Let's see here. Brandon says, first mistake, going against the guy with a vision by saying, no, you really should let the guy with the vision try it his way because everything has been pure crap so far. Okay. With that, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I also understand why I wouldn't start with the Dreadnoughts either. Because you start with the Dreadnoughts, you have now created a Sons of Anarchy. And by doing that, you have created the anti-G.I. Joe. And now everyone's going to be on the side of, oh, we just want them to wipe out the GI Joes. We don't want any of them to ever lose. I do think that there could be a way to do it. Like I said, in TV shows, movies are a little bit harder because you only have so much time. And I don't think the Dreadnoks are the way to start. I think that they should have their own spin-off eventually. Same with Extensive Enterprises. There's so many ways that it can go. But I think that I have a glimmer of hope that he can do it. He can do it right if they let him. But you are right. Like the first mistake is saying no. But I also understand them saying, yeah, we're putting the money behind it. Right? We are putting the money behind it. So we need to start with the big guns. And that's what it's going to be. So Viper Scout says he wrote it, but do they have a director? Because a director can really fuck it up. That I don't know. I would hope that he is fully, like he is the one that is fully in charge of it. Because he's the one that seems to have the passion for it. But again, who knows, right? It's not going to be the action. It's not going to be the Action Force movie for sure. I almost said it with a straight face this time. I hearing him talk and hearing his passion, to me, it sounds like one of us that has this love for this property, but someone also that has the skill and the talent to write and direct something. So, Viper Scott says Extensive Enterprises should be a comedy. Imagine all the weirdos coming through an upscale business. Extensive Enterprise, and I don't know why this came to me. Extensive Enterprises, like Three's Company. I don't know why I decided to throw Three's Company when I saw comedy. But yeah. So yeah. And Ed says, "Oh, there's an Action Force movie coming. When? Soon. I think they just got another director. Just top guy though. Top guy once again. With top actors that you're gonna know." I make myself laugh. Which is good because I probably don't make anyone else laugh. All right. 3-star says, I said on the evening blend the other night, I need Pauly Shore to play Tomax and Zaymont. Why? I literally mean why. I don't see them as like comedic. I'm still, and I will forever be bitter that after the movie Rad came out, that no one said we need to do a G.I. Joe movie just because we have Zaymont and Tomax literally in human form. They just ride mongoose bikes right now. Matthew says, don't forget John Cho loved G.I. Joe also. His extended action cut is still the best. I've never seen that, but I've heard that. I've heard that numerous times, Matthew. I should probably see it, but the thought of having to rewatch the G.I. Joe movies, I take that back. Listen, there are some aspects of the G.I. Joe movies that I actually did enjoy more. The second one. The silent interlude part, again, I still think is really, really good. So, all right. Quick break. Quick breather for me. And then we will talk about Joe Fest and all the pictures with me in them. Because seriously, taking pictures of other people that you're not in, it's just, It's seriously kind of creepy.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news discussions and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiber, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode. And hit that bell notification.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
All right. So you guys have waited for the Joe Fest pictures. I know a lot of you saw them online. There's probably some explanation between a lot of them, and there's a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about. And there's a lot of stuff that I can never talk about because we do say like things that happen behind the scenes. Some of the stuff you do have to kind of keep quiet. Other stuff, it's just fun getting to meet some of these people. Everyone knows in 24 we spent like 2 hours with Sarge. That was just happened to be. He was coming by. I believe it was Teflon that offered him a drink, got him a drink, and next thing you know, he's sitting there. We showed up a little bit later because the bartender refused to. He held us hostage. That's the best way to put it. But now, to all the people that didn't go to Joe Fest, I'm going to make you jealous by showing you off all the pictures. And there'll probably be some funny stories behind it. And I know this guy is going to get very jealous. Joe fan says, we made it to Panama Beach. Glad to hear that. I know he's going to be very jealous, unfortunately, when I start showing off some of the stuff from Joe Fest. So anyway, this is how we're going to do it because unfortunately, just unfortunately, it's the only way I can do it. So Ed told me, hey, go get a picture of the lobby. And so I went and got a picture of the lobby. I threw in the Joe Fest 2026 walkthrough. If you haven't watched the walkthrough, it's 23 minutes. I go through all the main floors. I go through the upstairs, and I go through the front where the commoners, where the poors would come in. I also stop and I get to pet a little doggy, and I don't get yelled at. So fuck that lady still. Not the lady let me pet her doggy. She was awesome. Happy's Toys is awesome. They were awesome. Fuck the other lady. That doggy probably fucking hates you. Anyway, to see the lobby. So this is where you come in. So you can kind of see up the top here. That's where everyone's kind of standing. And then you get this big fucking lobby. Now, I do not stand with the commoners. This is where the poors come in, all right? But the poors, listen, you guys are all, we like you all the same. I don't like you enough to stand in line with you. But we still like you guys. All right. So this was Grindhouse. And this was Mark from Mark to Toys, and he was like, dude, you need to take a picture with this. I'm like, do you want me to scream? He's like, yeah, I'd appreciate it. So he took a picture of me screaming. You can see that I have my little Ewok that I now put on every single one of my lanyards that I use, whether or not I have it on my one in Disney or I have it here. I kind of move it back and forth. I got it at Motor City Comic Con. Here is M. Hatfield, who, again, he introduced himself again to me because he thought that I forgot who he is. I didn't forget who you were. Again, next year, no promises. You can see that since Ronnie Trickshot isn't willing to invest to come in every single year, I wore a shirt. The truth is, I wore a shirt because that shirt fits me fucking awesome and makes me look good. So thank you to Ronnie for that. Funny story here. All right, here's Will. Okay. Will tells me, because you probably didn't watch it. You're right. Will, I love you, dude. And how I didn't get a picture with Will last year, I don't know. But Will says, after Joe Fest 25, I'm doing my show like we all do. And he's like, I didn't take that many pictures. Oh, shit, dude. And then he goes, Lawrence took a whole bunch of pictures. I will just Photoshop my face on his head. And he goes, I probably did 6 or 7 pictures of my face photoshopped on your head with people. And then he says to me, I think before the show, he's like, all right, I'm going to be doing the same thing again. I have not gone back and watched it. I thought it was hilarious. Now, we always talk about people that steal shit, that rip people off. This, in my opinion, is in good-natured fun. He's a friend of mine. I was he's fucking laughing about it. Like, this is when he fucking told me. I was dying laughing about it because I thought it was so awesome. Like, he's like, shit, I don't have that many pictures. And he's like, Punk has a whole bunch of pictures. Now, mind you, he is crouching down here because he's fucking tall. All right. Which that makes me laugh even more that he's photoshopping his face over mine, knowing that I'm going to make him look way shorter than what he is. So, Yojo Daddy says, my son just came in and told me his football teammate collects and customizes Star Wars Black Series. Maybe there's still hope for the future. Again, I think there's gonna be more people than we realize that actually do it. All right, this is Ed. Many of you don't know the moderator. You know what, Ed? We totally forgot. We forgot to find a new fill-in moderator this year. And it's just not the same without Carson. So there's Ed. This was before he met his new future ex-wife and stepchild. And we had a blast. Once again, he's one of my best friends, and some of the shit that we talk about. Steven comes from across the pond. He was pissed at me because he was not in the opening of the drive to Joe Fest. And I'm like, are you sure you weren't? Because I tried putting people in that were going to, and he's like, I know. I've watched it a couple times. And then I watched it with him, and he's like, see, I'm not in it. So, Steven, I promise you, next year, you will be there. I promise you. You will be in the drive to Joe Fest for sure. Because I will say this. A lot of people that I enjoy going to see, he is one of the people that I enjoy. I look forward to seeing Steven. He's fucking hilarious. And again, there's just so many good people there. And then we have John Kowalski jumping in here. And quickly, we need this right here.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Thank you very much, John, jumping in. All right. We have Bill Murphy from Fresh Monkey Fiction, Big Bad Workshop. I talked to him a little bit last year. Again, it was funny because last year I was like, he started talking to me about my videos, and I was like, oh shit, I'm thinking you actually watch the videos. And then he asked me a specific question because we had the talk when I was getting the false copyright strikes. And I was like, oh, we've actually had conversations, but we never really talked. So it was great to actually get to meet him and talk with him. We did Thursday with the friend, and it was fun. And then I finally got to meet Big Bad Mike. Now, I did not realize Big Bad Mike actually knew who the fuck I was. He was the person that sent shit out, and so he's the person that like sends stuff out. He replaces the stuff. If you see stuff, he's the one watching the videos. I didn't realize that. I thought that it was Bill. And he's just like, hey, I'm sorry that you've had any defective figures. So he tries to make things work. We found out throughout the 4 days we were there, he not only is bald, if he's ever looking for a new job, he might be a permanent fixture and fill-in for Circle of Jerks because he just gets the sense of humor. I'll just say this. He gets the sense of humor. Here we have Emerald Knight, some Canadian, Ed, and myself all at the bar, hanging out. Again, this bar is going to be someplace. If you go there, you're going to spend a lot of time in it. It's the restaurant, not the bar. The restaurant, good food. The cheese bites are just as good as ever. I'll just say that right now. They were just as good as I remembered them. So believe me, you will definitely enjoy it. This is Joe Hunter. This is not Joe Fan 84. And he made sure to tell me that, hey, I wore my shirt, so you know I'm Joe Hunter. In 25, it was so loud in there, he introduced himself, and we could not remember. And we're all like, that was Joe Fan, right? And myself, Tony, and Ed all thought that. And that's where the story came from. So he made sure to tell me that he wore his shirt. And he's right. We were wrong. And I'm glad that he let us know who he is. And yes, hi, Ken. That's not Ken. Hi, Ken. All right. So the next picture is this guy's been there for the past 2 years. And he signed the book because he is in the book. But he's in the book doing a photobomb. This year he will not be, and he better fucking be there. And that is Brian the waiter. Now, this guy has been great to us every single year. Here's Ed doing his photobomb. When I showed Brian the picture of him photobombing it, he pointed out, I always do a little peace sign. I always try and photobomb in the background. He's probably never had anyone bring it back and be like, dude, you're in the fucking book. So I made sure that he signed it. I like, dude, I need to get a picture with you. You got to be here next year. He said he absolutely loves doing the event. I can't speak for other events that are there, but he seems to really like, hey, you guys are all good guys. And we were actually pissed one day because he said he was going to be there He's like, yeah, I work all weekend, and he fucking wasn't. Now, he came up with some bullshit about having food poisoning, so he was sick and whatever, Brian. I'm not accepting it. You better be there the whole weekend next year. Look at this. Baldy shows up for a show called Joe Fest. There was an obscene amount of mics there. That is true. That is true. And yeah, Steve said, yeah, this guy, yeah. He's not this guy. His name is Brian. All right. Here we have Uncle Clutch. Uncle Clutch is a good guy. And when he shows you pictures of him when he's like 40 and he's a police officer, he looks like he's like fresh out of the academy at 20 years old. Here he looks a little more weathered. But when he doesn't have facial hair, oh, he is a little baby. I don't mean that physically. I mean just he has a total baby face. But him and his girlfriend, I don't want to say wife, because I always correct people. His girlfriend, who I believe is his ex-wife. We're gonna find that out when I have him on Thursday with a friend in the upcoming months. And then we have Ray Murphy. He's another one of these people I look forward to every single year now. And I'm so glad his brother came. So his brother came this year. So it was great to have him there also. He was there in 24. He didn't make it in 25. Ray actually brought his family. So yeah, this is he's another one of those people that I know once a year I'm going to get to see cross the pond. His customizing is second to none. He just puts up amazing stuff. So if you haven't got to meet this dude, like, you should come to Joe Fest, because then you will. And Jab Bro saying, yep, Brian the waiter is awesome. He became like our friend. Like, he's no longer just like the waiter. Finally getting to meet Woody. I had to call Woody up and be like, motherfucker, are you coming here or not? Because they had told me that he had, like, they were here, then they left, they went back to the Airbnb. And I'm like, dude, you need to come up here. All right. Like, I've been waiting. I don't really care about, well, I did care about getting the stuff, but I have been waiting to, to finally meet Woody in person. And it was great to finally meet him. Him and I talk a good amount on the phone or chat back and forth. And it's actually nice to talk to him when he's not super high. Although there was a point when he got super high, instead of just like passing out his fucking phone number, and he said, I won't be doing that anymore. Here was all the guys, well, almost all the guys that he came with. We have BX Medic sitting here, which I got a story about BX Medic. Shane, 6'10" Yojo Daddy, who's fucking taller than me, sitting down. And you will see that shortly. But again, these are the couches that if we don't get if I can't get the hotel on Thursday, this is where we will be crashing, and you can find us there sleeping. Here we have the guys from across the pond, along with Ed, before he met his new wife. Which is weird that he already met his new wife. So we got the Murphy brothers, we got Steve and Ed, and this was after I got the first press pass of Joe Fest, and yeah, I wore it all the time. I'm not gonna lie, I don't care. I have no shame. I think we all know that. BX Medic. Now, he's a medic. And so I have a story. I got a story. So I was fixing copiers and I'm at this pawn shop, and this guy says to me, he says, I bet you've seen a lot. And I go, man, I have seen everything. Now I'm upstairs in the lobby. So you can actually see, like, if you look up here, we're sitting up there. This is on Sunday, I think. So we're sitting up there. It's me, Darren, White Mike, 610, Woody, obviously BX, and a couple other people. I forget who. And I don't know how we got there, but we're talking to the store, and I go, I'm at the show. I'm at this client. Guys, like, I bet you have seen. He goes, I bet you've seen a lot. I've seen everything. And he looks at me and he says, I bet you've never seen anyone commit suicide by cutting their head off with a chainsaw in their mom's basement. And then he turned around and he walked down the fucking hall. Now, this guy said it. He didn't stumble through his words. He had said this before. He turned around. He walked down the fucking hall. I am in fucking shock because I thought we were talking about copy machines and me saying, oh, I've seen everything. His brother, the owner of the pawn shop, he walks out of his office because he's right there and he says, I'm really sorry about this. He was a Detroit cop. That was one of the scenes that he was called to. Now, everyone here is laughing or like kind of like, oh my God. Except for this guy. And I go, you're not laughing. And he goes, yeah, I've seen it before. He's so desensitized. And you could tell on his face, which now led me to, not that I didn't believe this guy, but now I'm like, that guy was not fucking lying. And he's just like, yeah, I've seen that shit before. Like, and I was like, I don't know what's more impressive. Like, that this guy was so committed to decapitate himself with a chainsaw, or the fact that this guy just tell the story. Like, and again, like, going back to the copier thing, like, we were talking about copiers, not little kids that have, not little kids that have wore suicide vests in Vietnam and shit like that. But this guy went right there. But the funniest thing was him not even breaking, because he had seen shit like this before. So that was an interesting, because I've never got that reaction from that story. And Steve Martin says, I remember this. It was interesting. So you guys know Tony. Last year, Joe Fest, he says, my daughter said, I didn't even get a picture with just you. There's like, him and I didn't have any pictures together in 24. 25 came and went. I probably have more pictures with Tony than anyone else. And him and I didn't have one fucking picture together, just like him and I. So right away, we were like, all right, dude, we need to get the picture. So this is, I think it's the only picture we took just together. And Tony says, yep, seen a lot of heinous stuff. But I think I've told you the story too. And I don't think he was so just dead eyed, like, well, yeah, I mean, it shit fucking happens. Commander Wolf says, yeah, you get numb to that kind of shit after. And I can understand that. The real story, again, once again goes back to, we were talking about the copier, and this guy says, I bet you've seen a lot. And when I said, yeah, I've seen everything, and he rattles off that story. And so that is the reason why I will never, ever say I've seen everything ever again. Because clearly I have not. Because it used to be just a figure of speech. Now I realize there's some people that truly do take it to heart. All right. So this is the one I bet a lot of you have been waiting for. And that is 610 Yojo Daddy. Now, I remember when they said he really is that big. And I was like, holy shit. Now, I've been around a lot of tall people, and I've probably been around someone that is 7 foot tall before. Never really hung out and chatted with someone. Yes, I am short, 5'4" on a good day. Now, I don't know what is more impressive, that he is that much taller than me, or that my arms are bigger than his. I just had to throw that in. I fucking look goddamn good in this fucking shirt and in this picture. So there was a twofold of putting this in here because I wanted to show you how tall he is compared to me. But damn it, I look fucking really good in this fucking picture. And I'm not gonna apologize for my head growing as big as it has. Lone Dragon says, I gotta get a pic of 6'10" and Seth Green next year, putting that on the to-do list. That would be funny because like I'm not joking. I mean, you all seen the picture. He really is shorter than I am. Steve from Delta 17, again, good friend. I've done stuff for them, so I appreciate them. But it's always great to see Steve, get to talk to him. He brought his wife this year. She seems like an absolute gem of a woman. I think have to be married to him for as long as she has been. I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, I have to. I mean, right? I mean, I have to say something. Yes, at least something grew. I know. Because I worked many, many years, so I would never be scrawny again. I said I never want to be a skinny, scrawny little kid again. And I don't think that I ever will be. All right. This is Tony, myself, and Ed, the owner of Joe Fest. So this is, I think this is the only picture that I got with Ed this year. I might have a picture together. Ed is such a good guy. I know there have been people that have spread rumors about him. I've talked at length with him about it. He's talked to me about it. I would just say this: don't. If you hear rumors, shit that fucking people spread, I would not believe it. I can tell you this honestly, and I think most of you know this. If I thought that someone was not a good person, I would not have anything to do with their show or their convention or have them on. I think I have, if anyone has stated that more than anyone. He is such a good guy. He works so fucking hard to put this together once a year. Next year is the 10-year anniversary, and he's trying to make it bigger and better than ever. So I'm happy to call him my friend. And look at Tony. He's all excited. Like it's the first time he's ever met someone. Mark the Toys. Again, had him on the show recently. Mark is a great guy, dude. Like, he was a guy in 24 that came up to me and he knew who I was. And that was kind of shocking considering, he's doing all this 3D printed stuff. He's made these weapons. He does stuff for Valorverse now. He's done stuff for Operation Monster Force. I think he does stuff for what's the other one? World War Hell. So he is doing all kinds of stuff, and he's seriously like he seems like he's that good of a guy that anytime I'm at a show that I see him, I'm happy to just spend a little bit of time, chatting with him. He may. I mean, I did send him one. It was framed and everything. So I've talked about fucking Tony more than enough in my fucking life, right? All right. Not that he remembers because he forgets everything. Here's Tony, great fucking guy. Trying to uplift the Canadian. So he's wearing the shirt that I got for him. So Tony got to wear his Sergeant Red shirt. And here we are with Ken. If you have not said hi to Ken yet, please in the comments say hi to Ken. It really hurts his feelings when he does not see people say hi to him. All right. This is Troy from Call Sign Longbow. And I chatted with him a lot in at Assembly Required. And it was really the first time I got to talk to him more this time. And it was funny because he came up. I saw them at the restaurant. He was sitting with the Skeletron guys. And I came up to him and I was actually going to bring something up to him. And he goes, I have to say, I'm so happy for you going off on someone. It made my day because this guy has driven me fucking nuts, along with driving so many other people's nuts. And when you fucking went off, and when Ken sent me the timestamp and said you need to watch this, it just filled my heart. All right. Go watch another show or think back to another show that I do on another channel, and you can probably put 2 and 2 together what I'm fucking talking about. All right. Chaz, GI Customs. Now, he saw me right when I was checking in. I did not get a picture with his wife. Ed said, I've never seen you seem so intimidated by a person. And I came up and I said something about all this. I heard this is crap. And trying to think of how I said it. And her look. I don't touch his shit, punk. His wife just like crap, and I was like, and that woman is intimidating, and she was awesome, and I smoothed things over with her. But he was telling me stuff, and again, he's such a good guy. He's just pumping out stuff. Him and Mark the Toys, they're working together. And he said, I'm like, there's always going to be people criticizing. He goes, man, we've had people come up and criticize our do not touch signs. Like, what? They criticize his 3D printed do not touch signs. Like, yeah, I don't think the do not touch signs were like to showing you off like what he can do for you. It was to tell you don't fucking touch the goddamn fucking product. It was pretty simple. It was pretty simple, right? Like, so just it very interesting, very interesting. But his wife is awesome. This is Lone Dragon. I will be 100% honest. I don't think that I ever was gonna meet Lone Dragon. I didn't even believe that I would meet him when Woody said that he would pick him up driving down the highway. That kind of shocked me. So, Lone Dragon comes up to me, and I did not know who he was. And he comes over and he introduces himself as Lone Dragon. But he starts by saying, hey, I know you don't like me, but I'm Lone Dragon. And I said, I never said I didn't like you. I just said you're weird. And he said, that's true, I am. I never said I didn't dislike you. I did say sometimes you annoy the shit out of me. I don't, I stand by what I say, right? But never once did I say that I don't like you. At least not that I can remember. All right. But yeah. Lone Dragon says, I saw a do not touch sign on a piano. I touched the piano. He should have popped you. Cressio Crow says, but to be fair, GI Customs had a ton of signs up. They weren't all don't touch. Yeah, but they specifically criticized the do not touch one. All right. This is one you guys have been waiting for. And yes, Boss Fight Studios own Lenny Tanzika. I think that's how you say his last name. The former head designer of G.I. Joe, who's done all the G.I. Joe classified figures. Now, we obviously have chatted before. We have, I've had him on the show. He recognized me, which was kind of, I mean, I was going over there and he was setting stuff up and he looked up and he's like, Lawrence. And he has this deep voice. That's how he talks. He's a fucking character. And how anyone could dislike this guy, I truly don't know. He was a character. He was fun. You could tell that now that he no longer works for Hasbro, he is open. It's like the cuffs have been lifted off of him and he can talk and shit. But it was really, really fun for sure. Lone Dragon says you emphasized later that you didn't say weird. You said fucking weird. I may have. Okay. I did not ask. So this is we're gonna talk about it in a second. We're gonna talk about it at the end. No, I'll do it right now. We spent about 3 to 4 hours with him and Corey. And there's some pictures later on you'll see. I'm going to say it now because a lot of people may taper off. There's a lot of people here. And I'm really mad at every single one of you. Now, I was the one that said, hey, you know what, dude, don't bother these guys. And they're there for Boss Fight. But Lenny was like, dude, this is Joe Fest, man. I'm sorry. This is Joe Fest. That's how he talks. Of course you're going to talk G.I. Joe. Right. We sat there for 3 hours with him asking questions. And I asked a lot of questions that I already knew, but I knew a lot of people hadn't heard it from him. But I'm pissed at every single one of you and myself that not one of us said, why did you put the swords on the wrong fucking side? Not one of us said it to him. And I refuse to take the full blame because I asked the majority of the questions. But how the hell did not one of us ask the question, hey, Punk's moderator has a huge issue with you putting the swords on the wrong side. Why did you do that? I just want to say that. No, it's just his voice. It's just his voice. Yeah, I seriously, I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, good Lord, how do we not ask? Well, Ed, you were a little fucking drunk. All right, you were drunk. All right. Anyway, here we have the voice of Joe Fest, David T. Allen. I think he might have announced this at this time. I don't know. No, he wanted a picture with his, with this. This is when we're getting the badges. I already had mine. Tony, I got his. Edwin down. We got Tony's. Ed's for the press. And David T. Allen, good guy. Didn't get to see him as much. We saw him the first day a lot, but he is so busy. He's running around. Doing this and that and different things like that. We got Corey. Anyone that's met Corey in the past knows that he can talk and talk and talk and talk. He kind of puts me to shame. I found out Lenny probably talks more than Corey, which I didn't know if that was possible. I didn't know that was possible. But Lenny wanted to talk. And Corey sat there and they answered a lot of questions, including showing us printed versions of what the original classified weapons were supposed to look like with ports for blast effects. Very interesting. John from Top Fun Toys. Got to actually spend some time with him this year. Last year, it was kind of just like he had his kids, so he couldn't come down to the lobby, so we didn't get to see him that much other than at his booth. We got to spend time with him at the restaurant, and obviously in the lobby. So it was great to sit there and chat with him and, just kind of shoot the shit with him. John is a really good guy. Go check out his weapons, Top Fun Toys. What is it? I have Top Fun Retro Toys 3D.com. I asked him, you should change the name. And he's like, yeah, there's a reason for it. It was hard to get everything. And if you do use my code PUNKWithToys, you will get 10% off. So, Matthew says, man, I want to meet Corey almost more than I want to meet Lenny. Well, there is a place that you could meet them. I'm just saying, there is a place, and it's not Kokomo, but there's a place that you could meet them and maybe meet some other people that you've got to know over the years. I'm just saying, there is a place. All right, this is their booth. We have Lady Spartan here. I don't know why I'm pointing over here, like you can see. Lady Spartan, and that is Clutch's girlfriend / ex-wife. I think I could be completely wrong. There's John, Ed, and Tony. This is still, I believe this is Friday. This is Friday or Saturday. I don't know. He has been there 3 years in a row. You know who has not been there 3 years in a row, Ed? Matthew. All right, we went to Top Fun Toys. I gotta say, not Top Dog Toys, or Top Dog Comics. I'll eventually get it right. It's literally in the back, right over here, right? It wasn't as good as, it was not as fun as in 25. Again, it's just, I don't know. I think seeing it the first time was cool, and I'll go back there next year too. I just kind of, I don't know. All the guys were there, like Woody and all them were there, but the first year was actually pretty cool, and then this year was just kind of like, just another toy store. All right, this is Toy Connections. I'm really glad he was able to make it this year. No, this is Wreck Ship. He left his cup. Very disappointing. He wasn't supposed to be able to make it. His wife lost her job. He said, yeah, unless something happens. And then she ended up getting a job, from my understanding, right away. So he was able to make it. He kept it a secret for quite some time. I knew about it. I was really I like Wreck Ship a lot. We get along. He truly has our sense of humor. We got Airborne Customs, who unfortunately might not be able to make it next year because his son will be leaving for basic training to be an airborne ranger. So thank you to his son for doing that. There's a son actually in the back right there. I just realizing that. So he said he's probably not going to be able to make it, which will suck. But you know what? Family is most important. And we actually got the graduation. It's in May, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm all clear for this. Clint Jorgensen says, one of 4 airports that have direct flights to Augusta is DFW. Huh. Well, isn't that a quinky-dink? So DFW, the airport, would be right by Matthew, who goes to DFW every year. So he could just drive there, or even have his wife drop him off. He flies out. Let's say he flies out on a Friday, right? So he doesn't miss Thursday. Friday's not on Friday. He's there. Show's over at I don't know, 2. Maybe he takes a flight at 6. He's home by So what you're saying is Matthew could fly out on Friday, be home by Sunday. Very interesting. Very interesting. um, uh, all right. There's Darren, 3-star draw. He's bent over. He's much taller than me too. Which I think you all knew that, right? I think we all knew that Darren is much taller than me. Oh man, see, I'm not the only one with a big ego. But it's great to meet up with Darren. I was actually going to try and stay the night at his house or in his area, not so much at his house, but in his area on Monday night when I was driving back from Florida. But I was able just to kind of drive straight through, and it was a little out of my way. And because of his new job, he has to wake up much earlier. So yeah, look at this, Jay, bro. A bunch of us fly through DFW on connecting flights. That's fucking weird, dude. Photog Damon, who lives in my area, who let's just say he sold a lot of his collection to Sergeant Reds, and I would see it. I'm like, that's all your collection? He's like, not all of it, but it's a good amount of it. So it was great to meet up with him again. I still didn't get him to sign my book from last year, so I have to make sure I do that this year. Robert from Action Figure sold separately. Again, I've talked more than enough about his stuff, how wonderful his stuff is. He truly is such a good guy. Him and both him and his wife, they were wonderful people. I wish that they could stay a little bit longer, but they have to get home and take care of their dogs. I wish they could hang out in the lobby a little bit. Maybe we can talk them into it next year. Because you don't get to see enough of them because they're working their booth and everything. So hopefully, Robert, maybe next year you can work one day out where you guys stick around for a little bit, have some dinner or whatever. So Matthew says, do you know how much flights cost, hotels, and the expense of the convention? So much money more than I have to spend on just myself. No, Matthew, none of us know anything about that. Ed, we just show up there, right? And we get everything for free. Yeah, we fucking know. But we've also given you like 3 years to save pennies and quarters and dimes. Put those pennies to use that we can no longer use. All right, finally got to meet Bobby B. B's Battleground. He is that tall. I asked him when we were in dinner, I go, so am I as short as you thought? And he goes, shorter. He's like, yeah, shorter. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I don't lie. I mean, everyone knows. It is one of those things where it's like, people go, why do you tell people? I'm like, well, because it's not something I can hide. So it was great to finally meet my nemesis. It was finally, again, we all went out to dinner, and you'll see some pictures. This was an interesting one because we actually left for dinner one time this trip. That's it. So it was fun just getting to meet and kind of talk to him and not just go back and forth or be on go back and forth over text, stuff like that. I had to throw this one in because I told them, I felt like this little kid around my favorite cosplayers. And she's like, you can, because someone asked, they're like, hey, I'll take the picture. I'm like, no, it's okay. So I let someone take the picture, and then I saw it. I'm like, I feel like a little kid, like with my favorite 2 cosplayers or something. But because I have no shame, I will leave it in there. Highly articulated. showing up for Sparrow Toys, which is a walk. And they watched a lot of stuff and they're like, hey, you know what? We have to have some exclusive next year. Uh, Jason, all those guys are really good guys. I need to have them on the show. I need to have them on. I need to have Jason on Thursday with a friend and chat with him and kind of promote that. Hopefully they have some more stuff coming soon. So, and here's the big guy, SCS Dog. I didn't tag him in any Instagram because I couldn't find his fucking name. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I did not tag you in anything because I could not figure out your Instagram name. And one of the times it populated and and I couldn't I hit backspace and it went away and I couldn't figure out what I hit to make it come up. So it took me way too long to find out, but that's the reason why he's not tagged in any of the pictures. Not because I didn't know who he was, but because I couldn't fucking find his Instagram. This guy, Toy Domination, I told him, I'm like, next year, because he hit me up and I didn't realize it because my phone, you don't hear anything because you're walking around and things are going on. Like, we need to go to dinner next year because he hit me up, I think, on Friday and was like, hey, do you want to have dinner? He goes to bed at like 9. I'm not shitting you. Like, he goes to bed at like 9. His partner, Joe, does not. He wanted to also show off that he broke his tooth right before Joe Fest. And the funny story is his partner, Dom, he does a show with, told me, he goes, he's very self-conscious about it. And he goes, I told him no one's going to fucking notice. And I go, I noticed right away. And he goes, are you serious? I go, I'm not real superficial. But the one thing that I cannot do with dating a woman is if their teeth are really fucking jacked up. So I tend to notice when people have bad teeth. But I noticed Dom because if you look at all the pictures that I've taken with him, he's always like this. So I noticed the tooth right away and I thought, I don't remember him having a fucked up chiclet. And he's like, holy shit. He's like, I told him no one's going to notice. I'm like, I wasn't going to say anything. So he pointed it out. So he pointed it out. So, but this is Joe. I was glad to finally get to meet Joe. He's another person I got to have on the show. He was awesome. Like, I've been on their show twice. Tom literally is like passing out. So he takes off and Joe and I are like sitting there bullshitting for like another hour because he doesn't go to bed at, like 9 p.m. Savage Land right here. It was great to see him. We didn't get to chat enough. That was one of the ones I would say, once again, we chatted more in 25. 24, he said he saw me, didn't come over and say hi because I was busy talking. I'm like, but he lives in the area, so a lot of times he bolts and heads home. I wish I would have got to chat with him a little bit more. And he's talking about, he's like, hey, I need to have you on the show. I'm like, fucking, let's do it, man. He's a good guy, great customizer. So if you're not watching his stuff, Savage Land, you need to. And then I finally got to meet Lonzo Wilkinson. This guy might be doing the best personal customs in our community. When he gets commissioned to do a character of somebody, he makes it look like them. And I didn't realize that he was doing Instagram. He was doing YouTube. And I don't know, maybe a month before Joe Fest, I came across one of his videos. And he's so articulated in the way that he talks and very soft spoken. And I'm just like, dude, I need to have him on the fucking show. So I will be reaching out to Lonzo Wilkinson about coming on the show and doing Thursday with a friend. So it was great to finally get to meet him. Again, I love meeting all these different people. Like seriously, it's awesome. And then I see this asshole. And my first thought was like, oh man, someone actually bought a Circle of Jerks shirt. And then it dawned on me that it was Steve fucking Martin. And again, I seen the pictures of him on Facebook, but he didn't have like you don't. Again, you see the pictures and you're not putting two and two together. And again, here's someone wearing a Circle of Jerk shirt. I'm like, this is awesome. And then I realized who it was. Now, maybe if he was standing there with his black wife, I would have known who it was, but he wasn't. So he threw me off by not doing that. And I can say that. I can say that because they laugh when I say shit like that. And here is proof that Sherlock does not only have V-neck shirts. Honest to God, Tony will tell you, and so will others. We were positive that Sherlock only had V-neck shirts. Well, here he has a V-neck with buttons. I'm still pretty sure that's the same V-neck. He just had his wife sew buttons on it to say, "Hey, look, it's not a regular V-neck." We got Ace from Ramen Toys. I love getting. I honestly, God, I really like getting to talk to Ace. I didn't get to talk to Ace as much this year. He did sit with us for a little bit, and Matthew says that's an uncomfortable laugh at your Steve. Steve, would you agree with what Matthew said? I'll tell you what I said to his wife in a little bit. Well, basically what I said to his wife about Crow. And his wife and his daughter laughed their ass off. Anyway, I like getting to chat with Ace. Ace gets a bad rap on a lot of things, but he's actually pretty fucking fun. G.I. Jetman, as I said, he's tall. He's almost as tall as me in his wheelchair as I am just standing. But he was a good guy, and like I said, I mentioned, he had stickers made to give to everyone. He personalized certain things, and that type of shit means, it means the world to me. That again, I do nothing special. I'm just willing to put myself out there and be made fun of. So I appreciate stuff like that. So it was great getting to meet Jeremiah, and you can see he has his B shirt on because it's like his fucking favorite favorite character. Hans Chow. You meet Hans and you have to start talking like Hans Chow. And I even asked him, I said, do you really talk like this, or are you like Macho Man? And he said, this is my real voice. Hans Chow is one of the most real people that I look so forward now to seeing Hans. And the moment I see him, Hans Chow, like you can't. And I think I might be worse than others. He's another person. I talked to him in 25. I'm like, I need to have you on Thursday with a friend, and didn't get to it, but I'm definitely gonna have him on this year. He's such a good guy, and he comes over. He's not from here, so he makes this like his one trip to the U.S. He might have more, I don't know, but this is his one trip I know that he does make, and he came over alone this time. Every other time he said he's come with someone, and he ended up spending going out to dinner with someone who he met his first time that he came here, and they're like, dude, who you here with? He's like, I'm here alone, and there's people that he knows, but they're like, you're coming to dinner with us, which was awesome, right? Like that's what I keep telling you. Like, you will meet wonderful people at this fucking place, and you will have a good time as long as you try, as long as you choose to have a good time. Yes, Jetman had stickers. Yes, and you're right. He's the best, man. He's awesome. We got Wolverine. I'm not sure. I apologize for who Wolverine was with, and obviously there is Beast Battleground. And I did have him sign my book because he was in it from last year. Again, another person. Great to put a face to the name, which I did in 24. Here is the one, and I'm like, I need this. I need a picture of you, even though we already took one. No reason. No reason why I needed another picture with Bees Battleground. I did put this picture as the first picture in the Instagram. I think for the second part of that day. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Just an MP in a shirt. And here we have once again when he came up and Hatfield making sure that I remembered who he was. I'm like, I remember. So yeah, another table shot of everyone. I knew Ace sat with us. And there we have, look at his button. That is a fucking V-neck, whether he wants to admit it or not. Get the Skeletron guys, Ben, who I know we've had on. It's great to have him. I love seeing these guys all there. They're so much fun to talk to. And these guys at Skeletron are they're such good guys. And we got to see their new female figure that's going to be coming soon, which I'm super excited for. But yeah, getting to see these guys again. And, Matthew is right about certain things with like, it's such a big show that you can't spend so much time like at assembly required. You're able to talk to them, a little more, but you do get a chance to just, spend some time seeing how they're doing. So there's one reason why I would love to go back to assembly required. Pop Blender, after he apologized to me for being super rude, we got along until I pissed him off. And then we got along again. We'll see if we're getting along again on Punk's Pit. But Pop got to experience, I believe it was at this point, when Crow showed up for the first time, when he finally got into all of his stuff. And Crow and I had a huge laugh at Crow getting in. And I'll just leave it at that. Once again, the couches that if we can't get a room on Thursday, we might all be fucking crashing on. And there's Steve Martin there. That dude is almost as pale as Tony. G.I. Bro does not have sleeves. Although he said he wears sleeves on planes because he thinks it's rude. Is what he told me last year. He said, I think it's rude to travel with short sleeve shirts on a plane when you're next to somebody. And I appreciate that. And I am in agreement with him on that. There's Crow. After he finally got in, I don't know what fucking face I'm making. But it's there. It's there. And this was after Pop and I had a laugh. and that will just remain an inside joke between us. But let's just say sometimes you have to let someone get in and see everyone that they've been waiting to see for a year. Casey from Podcast from the Pit. Always great to see him in it's nice when we finally get a picture that he doesn't look like he's photoshopped in. Talked about it before in 24. The picture looked like he was photoshopped in. I still look at it now. I'm like, I remember him being invited into the picture, but did we Photoshop him in? Evil Dookie. Finally got to meet Evil Dookie. And he saw me on the floor, and it was actually while I was recording. I was actually recording the end of my Joe Fest walkthrough, and I'm going to 100% honest here. He made it look like the stinger that I sent to him to turn into a police car that he did it in Ohio State. And Tony even told him, he's like, I told him, I'm like, yeah, who think it's fucking hilarious? It would have been awesome. It's awesome to have a custom of his in my collection. And seriously, thank you so much. I would have been so disappointed if it was Ohio State. And it wasn't. So it was like this huge relief when I looked at it and I was like, dude, you have no idea how disappointed I was. And he's like, oh, I saw it on your face, man. He's like, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm like, listen, we all fuck around with each other. So I have to say thank you. Thank you for not doing it like that. This is, well, here's Evil Dookie. And then we have Savage Land. This is the Window Viper. I'm just going to say, because of his name, I assumed he was like an old crusty guy. And not at all. He's not an old crusty guy at all. And I'd go back to that episode of the Window Viper. So it was great to meet him, and not what I was expecting. Devil Dog, have a great night. Like maybe finish up on the replay. I know I'm going long, showing pictures of myself. Someone right now is going, dude, you're in all these pictures because they're my slides. Again, Ben from Skeletron. I was like, dude, I need to get a picture because I looked at the pictures that we had, and for some odd reason, the hand was moving and it looks all fuzzy and shit. I do love the Skeletron shirt, the 250th, basically the US 250th shirt turned into Skeletron. I can't say enough nice things about Ben. You know, people that say they dislike Ben, I just don't get it. He is truly such a nice guy. So, and then this one was a shock to me. And it seems like people knew. I don't know how I didn't know. Mython the Python and his big glasses. And finally getting to meet Mython was absolutely awesome. He's someone else I need to get on the show, but he works these crazy fucking hours. He's a nurse. I believe he's a nurse. So his shift's been changed. So he works midnights. It sucks. And there's Ed doing the peace sign. But I had no idea Mython was going to be here. Like a lot of these people I'm expecting to see, I did not know Mython was going to be there. There's Steve again from, down to 17. We got Crash, who's always trying to help. And he's always calling me, you know, he's saying, you're my son. Yet I'm like 10 years older than him. So Crash, I can never be your son because I'm much, much, much older than. Matthew says, myself having N is a sum. Huh? I've met him a couple times. That text to chat isn't helping you. Yeah, it was awesome to meet him. Yeah, and again, not what I was expecting. Here we have that's a white dude. The owner of Savage Crucibles. Again, him and I have. He still remembers. He still brings up me throwing the figure. It was not a throw; it was a toss. It's great to talk to him, and I'm glad he understands the, you know, what that was all about. All right. I walked by Zakanin on day 1 and didn't get to talk to him. And then we finally got to actually talk. And it was great to finally meet him. And he's someone that we've gone back and forth, and he always highlights my stuff when he's on, when he's either modding for Jerk and Gains, if I'm in there, or if I'm on his show or whatever, or in his chat. So it was great to finally sit down and meet with him. We had a lot of talk. He asked me, "Hey, tell me your side of the story of this," and I fucking told him, like, this is my fucking side. Like, if you want, and again, I've made it clear I don't hide anything. I'm gonna tell you, like, hey, dude, like, this is the way it was from my point of view. And again, he's like, I'm not gonna say anything to anyone. I don't really give a shit. Like, you can, I'm fucking telling you one. I don't give a shit. So, Downtown Joey is saying, evening Punk with Toys, happy Monday. Technically, it's Tuesday now, at least here in the East Coast, or on the Eastern time. This was we had a lot of time talking here. And that's his moderator in the back, and I did not get his name, so I apologize. I didn't get his name. There's the fucking bald dude. This is when he still, I believe, was planning on staying at the hotel. The first hotel that he got. Dude, it's not me. It's not you, it's me. All right. Soul Brother number 1. He came up to me right as he was getting ready to leave. He lives like an hour or 2 hours away, something like that, so he didn't stay or anything. Again, I'd seen him a couple times on shows, but you still don't get the grasp of it. Not what I was expecting at all. And remember, it is Soul Brother 1, not 2, not 3. There's only one of them. It was great to great to meet some new people. I wish we could have chatted a little bit more. I'll say it again, another person I want to have on the show, get to know, all that other good shit. So there is Clint Jorgensen again, wearing his Quick Kick shirt. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see his wife or his little baby. Unfortunately, although Crow talked about running into them, running outside playing and shit. I'm gonna apologize because I totally forgot, and he's in the chat all the time. So if you're here right now, again, so many names, and he said last year I saw you. His daughter was absolutely wonderful. She was so excited to get the Roman sticker. Because she's like, I love dogs. She was so excited to get the Roman sticker. Like, her face just totally lit up. So I don't, and again, there's so many people. So I apologize. I apologize right now. Maximum Warp, who I met last year, I am the whole reason why he has an Instagram. Just remember that. Was it Lightfoot? Okay, you're right. It was. Thank you, Lightfoot. I totally know. Yes. So, Maximum Warp, I'm the only reason why he has an Instagram. No, literally, like, he had no idea. He had no fucking clue that he should have an Instagram last year. And literally at Joe Fest, he basically started pushing out pictures. And I'm like, yes. Clint Jorgensen says, don't worry, Punk. We picked up a new baby the Wednesday after Joe Fest. Congratulations, man. I know we talked about it. And I know that, things fell through with the baby. It sounds like fucking like picking up babies here. It fell through, so I'm glad that you and the missus were able to find another child, and hopefully you can teach this child how to pronounce your last name properly. And here we have Carlos from Rise of Nexus. I will have him on this Thursday. I still got to do the thumbnail. Promote his Kickstarter, Rise of Nexus, but get to know him. And I talked about him a little bit earlier in the show. Most of you are probably like, dude, that was like 4 hours ago. Like I should have known it was going to take this long to get through the pictures, right? But hey, there's still 50 of you watching. But yeah, but yeah, so I'll have him on. Excited to have him on. He's a really nice guy. So, like I said, he sent me some stuff a couple years back. All right. Yeah. Lady Spartan. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, Clutch outkicked this coverage. She is such a wonderful person. She is one. She actually messaged me, I think, yesterday, going, "Dude, Thursday is all booked, but I booked the rest of it, and I don't know why, but Thursday is completely booked for Joe Fest. I'm assuming it will come open. I'm thinking because maybe that's a setup day. I don't know why. It's like the only day that is booked in all of 2027. So I'm glad she reminded me because I was looking at the wrong dates. All right, story. If this guy is watching, and I doubt he is, so I'm upstairs, and you can see Rise of Nexus behind me, and right in front of me is Clutch and Top Fun Toys. This guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey," he goes, "Who are you?" And I go, "Lawrence." And he goes, "Do you have a YouTube channel or anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, Punk with Toys." And he goes, "I've seen you here for 3 years, and every time I see you, people are taking pictures with you. So so I figured you must be someone. Can we take a picture?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, let's do it." It was one of the weirdest things. But I remembered it. And so if you are watching, I'm glad you did it. It made for a story. But yeah. So, and Lightfoot says, "There we are. By the way, my daughter says hi. She asked me if she could put your sticker on her water bottle for school. I told her I'd allow it. Hey, if you want more, hit me up and I will send her a couple more. I have a whole shitload. Don't worry." Yeah, so hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. Just say, hey, and I'll send her some more. And I know she liked the Roman one. She was like super good. Matter of fact, I think I probably have regular ones of this. I know I do actually. I'll send you a couple. So hit me up on Instagram and I'll send it out to you. All right. So this is, where's it at? So this is Black Hawk Studios. He was the one who gave this to me. Quick story, he came over. Now he's Brazilian and he talks really low, and it was a little difficult to understand what he was saying because he showed me. And 610, I hope you're still here because you were the one. I know you're here, right? So he's like, "Are you interested in this?" And I'm like, "Well, how much is it?" He's like, "No, I just want you to have one." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, cool." Like he shows, I'm like, "Dude, that looks fucking awesome." And he goes, "I'm out in," he goes, "I'm out in the hallway right when you walk out." And told me about. And I went out and I didn't see where he was at. And I think there's people. And so I'm talking to 610. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking I'm looking for this guy, and I go, he goes, who is it? I'm like, this guy with Black Hawk Studios, whatever. And he goes, I go, he's Brazilian. So if I'm missing, tell everyone that I was last seen with a Brazilian and not one of the hot models. He's like, all right. But I'm here. All right. So I am here. Troy here. Great to see him again. Barely got to talk to him. He was carrying a Mamba, as you guys know. Maybe you don't know. I was actually finally able to get a Mamba. Thank you to Woody 222 and some other stuff that I haven't even opened out of the fucking box yet because I don't have time or any space. Before Mython was leaving, they were all sitting there. 6'10" really is that damn tall. There's Mython's wife. She was absolutely wonderful. They had to get back to their doggies. I know how much those dogs mean to him because him and I send shit back and forth all the time about dogs. So it was great to meet. Again, I was so happy to actually meet him. He was leaving, and I think it was Ed that called me. And he was like, dude, Mython is leaving. He's looking for you. I'm like, where are you guys at? And it was one of those things where it kept like, oh, he's still here. All right, let's say goodbye to him. So GI Customs again, which I really like the baseball shirt. Let's start moving a little bit quicker because I got to go to bed eventually. There is Natasha, Steve Martin's daughter. There is Crow. So Matthew made the comment about the awkward racism joke that I said. And Steve proceeded to tell me that on the Circle of Jerks, when I made a comment about him and I said, it's okay, he's married to a black woman. And the whole place went quiet. Like to hear all the jerks just be super quiet. And he said, I'm in a text message. I'm in this text chat group with my family. And I fucking send them like, go to this time and watch what he says. And I say it. And he goes, oh my God, they got so quiet. And he said they were all laughing about it. So we go out to the pool. I'm walking with Crow. Steve is sitting there with his lovely wife, Felicia, and his daughter. And I forget what he said. Oh, you say hi to my wife. I say hi to his wife or whatever. And I look at Crow and I say something like, don't mind him. Crow's from Canada. They don't have black people up there. And his wife and daughter and him, he gets even more red when he laughs. I'm just gonna say that. Steve gets even more red when he laughs. They start fucking dying. And Crow tries to say something, and Natasha goes, yeah, I've never seen a black Canadian or something like that. And I'm like, see, they get it. They get it. I probably shouldn't be talking about this. Like this, but hey, you know me. Here's our waitress from who took our picture. Again, I wouldn't say shit like this if I didn't know people had the understanding and accepted what we were saying. But Steve and I talked about a lot of shit. This was this waitress that when she took our picture, I go, you're taking a picture of yourself, aren't you? And she was like, yes. Then we were all at dinner. B, his buddy Mike, Ed, Tony, who the DJ knew. For some odd reasons, Akanan is kissing Baldy's head. We got Daredevil Dave. This is towards the end, I think, right? I think we're at the end of. This might have even been fucking Saturday for all I know. I took a lot of pictures. There we all are, just kind of sitting there. All right, War Chest, I love you. I love you, dude. I came in and I go, fucking War Chest is talking Lenny's fucking ear off. I'm like, because we came back from the restaurant. This is actually still Saturday night. And I'm like, Worcester talking Lenny's ear off, man. And then finally I had to go get him, I had to have him sign the book. So I got him over there. Worcester can talk. You think I can talk? I said Lenny can talk. I said Courtney, no, fucking Worcester. He can fucking talk, and he will talk, and he will talk, and he will talk. All right. There is Lady Spartan, Clutch. And like I said, I finally got to spend a little bit of time with John. So that was great. Once again, proving GI Bro does not have sleeves. We have Hans Chow and John once again. The Murphy brothers. Seriously, so happy that they get to come, because they are a lot of fun to be around. We got White Mike, U.S. Combat Dojo, and this is where we found out that is his actual school, U.S. Combat Dojo. Right there, I think we can have the All Augusta right there in that area, and I think this was right after I told him. Even his wife set this whole thing up for him to come. So that was like super awesome. To find a wife, a girlfriend who supports you that much is awesome. Like, she set it all up. She's like, you're fucking going to this. And she was there. So that was awesome. And little did he know that he's going to have a karate tournament match next year. And if I don't see a fucking crane kick, I'm going to be super fucking pissed off. I did not really get to talk to Patrick Stewart this year. I really enjoyed talking to Pat. He is awesome. The wealth of knowledge of G.I. Joe, Royal American Hero that this guy has is second to none. So I'd like to go to Assembly Required just so I can, talk to him a little more and hang out. Financially, I don't know. Hopefully. There we have Drunk Michael. Sorry to call you out, Michael, but dude, you are fucking... And you know how I know? Because this guy right here, the straight edge sober dude, he's like, fuck, dude, they were both so fucking drunk last I am so happy. Again, we've made so many good fucking friends, and once again, getting to see these guys again, and now adding another mic into it is even better. Because how many mics do you fucking need? Yeah, bro, I'll sweep the leg. Yes, like Jay, bro, he's in for the karate tournament. Patrick knows more about ARH than should be allowed. I agree with that. So this is Rob's son, who I didn't get Rob's stepson. And he's like, I want to be in the book next year. He's like, I got to get a picture. I want to be in the book. I'm like, okay, cool. And on Circle of the Jerks, Baldy said, you got to look in the back. You always got to look in the back and see who's looking at you. And if Tony is still here, he's probably laughing his ass off. You always got to look in the back and see who's like just lurking. And it's Stanley. This is myself and Ken. Again, I didn't really get to talk to Ken as much as I would like to, but he is so busy working his booth and just doing all this other shit. It's nice that once a year I get to meet Ken, get to hang out with Ken a little bit, but he's just always so busy. And when he's drunk, you really don't get to talk to him too much. And he got pretty drunk. So here was Ed. I've never seen Ed drunk, but Ed was a little fucking tipsy. And Ed's like, dude, I wasn't acting like a fool. I'm like, I didn't say you were acting like a fool, Ed. I just said you were drunk. All right. Yeah, say hi, Ken. Yes, yeah, that is not Ken. You are right. There's another guy, maybe named Ken. um, but that is Kelly. That is Kelly Slaughter. It's not really her last name, but Slaughter's daughter. And I was able to get Sergeant Slaughter to sign the 24 book. As I've said before, I'm not paying for a signature. This was a snapshot of memories, and it was a memory that we had of all of us hanging out. And I did approach him. It became very awkward because it's a business for them. But then after I showed the book and everything, and what I was talking about, and he saw the signatures from all the other people that were involved in the book and the pictures. Uh, I think he got it, but at the same time, I didn't want to bother that. I knew I was bothering him, and I never wanted to be that person. But hell, they were talking to Ken and Hans Chow, so I figured it was my one chance. And then his manager was like, "Come see us. Come see us at 11. We'll get it taken care of." So he was able to sign it, and it was super cool. He actually signed because when Sergeant Slaughter looked at it and he looked at the picture, like he looked at the picture of him choking me and then me choking him, and he thought it was pretty cool. And he literally flipped through the book, and I explained like all these signatures of people who are in this book, and it's snapshot in time. So even though it was from 24, he was cool. He signed it. I would never ever ask someone like that. I would never ask someone again because it was so awkward because I don't like to bother people with their own time. But it was like the one chance that I had. So I got to be that asshole that I pretty much hate being. All right. um, this was the night with Lenny and Corey, and we were up till this was after 4 a.m. Let's just say that. This was after 4 a.m. Lenny told us all kinds of shit. He's very open about things. I'll just say this. People that say that he quit because he didn't want to commute to Boston. I don't believe that's true because his wife is a designer at Hasbro and she'll be commuting. So that's not exactly true. But this was a fun night, man. And now he blamed me and said that I got him to come over. I did not. And everyone remembers. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through all of these because I still have a shitload left. Steven again. It looks everyone tries to try and so many people try and be shorter than me just to be like that, and it looks weird. Slappy Toys or Slap Happy Toys. I want to say Slappy because Slappy Trucks. Super good guy out of Miami. His wife was the one that had the little puppy in the walk through Joe Fest, which I guess. Here's Toy Connections once again. We got Crow. Now we're gonna see a lot of redos. I did get a shot with Mikey's dad, John Kukovic. He's like, I'm like, dude, we need to get a picture. He's like, it's about time. He's like, I was crying that Punk hasn't asked me for a picture yet. I had a blast with them, total blast with them at Assembly Required. So I don't dislike you. Kind of Joe thinks I don't like him. I do like him. He's like, dude, you don't like me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, so I made sure to get a picture with him, and I told him, like, dude, I totally like you. And I had him sign the book because he was in the book from the year before. All right. More Skeletron. First time I really talked to him. So it was cool. It's weird that people get to know who the hell you are and you don't fully know them. Or you don't realize that they know who you are. So it is an interesting dynamic considering we're just YouTubers. And then here's our breakfast, man. We said it before, like we're not gonna be able to, and I think Delta 17 does it and everything. We are. This is a tradition of ours that after the, or actually during the show, for lunchtime on Sunday, specific members of our crew go out. This is the third year at Nacho Mama's. I think that's the name of it. This time we all got to go out there and had a good time, and it's actually really good, authentic Mexican food. This was something we didn't realize. If you give them your stickers, they'll put it above on the range hood, and you can see right here. There's my sticker. Now, I did give them Circle of Jerks and Joe Fest 2026. They either hadn't put it up or they put it up on the side that I didn't see it. But Tony was the one that actually told me about this, and then he pointed out when they put it up there. So, but yeah, Brian Sauer, again, he's the one who does assembly required. I will do my best to get out there. I feel like I'm going to continue to say that. There's a tall guy in the back. He really is that fucking tall. Woody, Shane, and Derek. Let's just say these two people here, one with the Detroit hat and one that is from Detroit, could not be any more opposite than the other two guys. And this was like right after Woody told me, I'm never getting that high again. I'm never getting that high again. I don't believe him, but it sure made me laugh. I've never drank in my life, and nor has Derek. I'm kind of here, like we're like again another one where it couldn't be any more different because those two mics tend to drink, and poor Derek's in the room with them. The Big Bad Workshop guys. Again, I'm like, hey, I need to get a shot with you guys because we've been talking and we've been doing stuff and just communicating, and it's awesome to. Again, I don't look at people as designers or makers. They've all become acquaintances or friends. This was Lenny getting Plastic Fantastics tactical battle platform. This thing is large. It is fucking awesome. And I don't know who Lenny had carry it out. If he would have asked me, I would have had everyone else carry it out like they carried the shit for me. One last run-in was the Kanan, I believe. Here we have Ace. And he literally broke his van to take a picture with me. I didn't need a picture right then, Ace. We could have waited till you were done with it. So I do apologize. This was me setting up figures on 1 foot because I had to see this fucking Skeletron figure that White Mike had, and I got him on 1 foot. And then this is when Darren said, yeah, why don't you try doing that with a classified? And I put on the classified one quicker than I did the other one. This is when I told the story about the guy decapitating himself, and BX Medic was like, yep, seen that. Once again, no sleeves for GI Bro. But look at those cheese bites right there. And Steve Martin told me now I have to compare everything to those. So this was the last night. Again, so much fun. We had Lenny. Lenny was there. Crow had this cool book to do make your own file card. And I couldn't do that, so I had to make one of Roman. Clint Jorgensen, once again. Sherlock, once again, proving he really only has V-neck t-shirts. And I think this is where Steve Martin is realizing, holy shit, dude, this guy really is a V-neck dude. SES. I don't giving his, and he does it all the time too. It's not, he doesn't just do it he doesn't just do it in his chats. He does it all the time. Shane, we got Woody, Hans, Chow. By this point, Ed probably should have been cut off. The Delta 17 guys I wanted to get. John, I'm telling you. Oh, wait a minute. Look, I take it back. G.I. Bro does have a shirt with sleeves. Lenny is a fucking character, dude. He is a fucking character. I don't think. Well, I take that back. He said some serious stuff. He either goes from super like comical to like very serious. And his imitation of me is his imitation of me sounds nothing like me, but it fucking made me laugh. So if you ever have him on a show, maybe ask him, hey, can you imitate Punk? I heard you do a great job. It was nothing like me, nor did I get him to come down. He freely did. This was the jerks, at least that showed up. So unfortunately, we were only able to have 3 of us because Spec won't come out. And actually, Terry was in this. He left right before. Here's the crew. Again, this is Sunday night. This is when it's like we're all ready to go. It's not ready to go, but we all know like it's coming to an end. And then Patrick Stewart, like I had to get one picture. And then I forget who took this picture. Crow, was it you? I think it might have been Crow that took this picture of us in the round table. And this was 3 hours. Corey should be on the other side of 610 Yojo Daddy. This was late because Stanley had left. And didn't Stanley leave before? Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe Stanley did. I don't know where he was at. But they all got to have everyone got to ask their questions. And he was very open about a lot of things. Let's just say that all those people there, for anyone watching on the replay, all those people there got to hear why Hooded Cobra Commander wasn't fucking made. All right. Yeah, we took that picture. So Stanley was still there at the time. I don't know where he was there. He must have been wandering around. We took that. It was after 4 when we took the picture on the steps. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you were, and Tony was still there because Tony left. Tony didn't make it. He didn't make the stair picture, right? I could go back and look. Corey might not have even been there yet because Corey was sitting on the side of Lenny. But everyone got to hear the Hooded Cobra Commander story. They got to hear the Falcon story. There was a lot of it was funny because it got brought up, I think, by Darren to me, like, you're the one. And I think it actually got brought up to Lenny, saying that You know, he was the one that told us not to inundate you with GI Joe questions, and that's when he said, "Dude, it's Joe Fest, man. Like, it's Joe Fest. What else are you supposed to talk about?" I guess I do kind of make him sound like Hulk Hogan. Um, yes, I was so tired. I pulled a Terry. um, um, yeah, that was it. The story about the head and why the face sculpt looks so bad. I know I've discussed it with you. And with the guy that was sculpting it and why and how he went about it and everything. So, but anyway, Lightfoot says, 16, thank you. I had to step away to make sure she went to bed, but I still was able to listen. She can watch the replay highlights at breakfast. And I didn't swear that much. I might have sworn. I'm trying not to swear that much. I lie. I swear all the time on the live stream. My reviews, I don't. Seriously, Lightfoot, hit me up and I will send her some more stickers. He said HasLab is coming back. Oh, he doesn't know. He's no longer there. Stupid dimples. Yeah, so I'm only going to talk about things that I know that we can discuss. There's so much more stuff that I would love to say, but there's stuff that I'm never going to say except to those people that were sitting there. But let's just say no love for certain YouTubers that live in Canada. And for good reason. You know, let's just say we're not the only ones that dislike Viper Island. Oh, there, I said it. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I cannot believe I went this fucking long. Actually, I can. You know me. Anyway, thank you guys all. It's great to be back. It is great to be back. I will be back on Circle of Jerks tomorrow. Probably tired as shit because I have to work. And let's just say that there's 2 people on vacation and 1 person is now sick. And my boss is sick. So it might just be me and 1 other guy. And I have a feeling that guy might get sick. And then I'll be the only person. And I'll just be running around like an idiot. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you all so much. I'm not even playing the replay because I need to go to bed. So thank you guys all. I will see you all tomorrow on Circle of Jerks over on Baldy Locks Review.